Hey, how you doing? This is SEIJIHITO here to bring you another live stream. This one, I guess we could say it's a little bit different, right? America the Matrix. Uh, Basically stating that we are in a system, we are in a box, so to say, and and different things of that nature, right? But anyways, so I just recently found out this is just a starting point. The lady that you see in front of you, who is the press secretary, right? I just now found out that this woman is 27. That's crazy. That's 1,000% crazy. Uh, I'm just going to be real. That is a very tough. That is a very hard 27. I would have thought that she was late 30s, somewhere in her 40s, more so like the soccer mom, type of appearance or something like that. I would have never imagined this was or this is 27. That's crazy. That's diabolical. 100% in nature. If anybody else just found this out, and you are just as shocked as me, you can clear cut write that in the comment section. Yo, James, what is up? You said, yep, 42. Yeah. Yeah, I would have thought the same thing. As soon as I first like saw her, I saw the whole face and everything. I'm like, okay, so she's late 30s and her 40s. Nah, this is 20. Wow. This is what 20 looks like in college, I guess. This is like that's tough. That is tough. Oh, we got Miss Anderson on time. Can't believe this. On time for once. I'm proud of you. You have come a long way because normally you would pull up to the live stream. I got to get on you because normally you would pull up on a live stream somewhere, like 2 hours later. Let me tell you, I can already hear, oh, wow. Wow. So, yeah. But yeah, that's a hard 27. Hard 27. Let me tell you something. But I guess it matches with the husband that she has at this moment in time, which is a older fellow, right? Pretty wealthy, got money and different things of that nature. And I also heard that she got married after she got pregnant. That's crazy. Diabolical. Diabolical. I thought it was, you're going to get married and then you would carry, not carry and then get married. I don't know. Like I said, it'd be like that sometimes. But she figured out her plan and she upgraded to the point of now she's in the White House. So I guess it all worked out, right? Anyways, let's get to the very first video, and I'm going to preface this by saying that basically you got two black gentlemen that were, I guess, going to get some food or making a food delivery, however it basically works. And you're going to see this guy in the dark, I want to say maybe that's black or dark navy type of shirt. He's going to specifically get angry, which again makes no sense, and tried to basically tell them that they need to leave the neighborhood.
You need to leave. 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 You need to leave.
Right. So basically, from what they stated on social media, this guy in the going back to the I want to get it where he's like just breaking his car because they're there, right? He just starts going directly through, shattering his own window because he's so fixated with the guys being there. That's crazy. Like, how could you be that mad just because some black people there? And that's why they're making fun of him because he originally told them that they need to leave. That's why one of the black guys recording, he kept repeating the exact same thing and he decided to get angry. I'm like, that's stupid. Like, how are you going to sit up there? First of all, you decided to come from wherever you are, and then you almost ran on the sidewalk. And now you want to sit up there and get mad when they're mocking what it is that you specifically told them. They got every right to. Nobody put hands on you. Nobody forced you to break down your own car and to just fully crash out. Like I said, a lot of people just crazy out here. And this is why I love it when black people can happen to laugh at some things, because 9 times out of 10, when you laugh directly at them and nobody is siding with them, they start getting embarrassed, they start getting infuriated, they start getting frustrated, and all of that starts to turn into that type of fear and anger, type of thing. And you saw he wanted to get physical, but he already knew he wasn't about to get physical with them, even though they were mocking him. He wasn't about to do that. And what he decided to get physical with, himself, his car, things within his control. He did the right thing. He did the right thing, because I promise you, if he would have decided that he wanted to get physical with any one of those two guys, it would not have worked out. Wouldn't have worked out. But like I said, it'd be like that though. People always want to be fixated on black people. And this is exactly how they are on the inside. They are children full of rage that don't know how to deal or specifically handle themselves out in public. It's crazy. Diabolical. Shout out to the black guys though. Shout out to Iron. Shout out to Pink. We got a knife in the building. What was that? Cryptolite. What is up? What is up? Who else? Who else? Who else? And then I shouted out James. So now we got a pretty wholesome video. I had to, edit the music in the video, copyright purposes. But we're going to see this young black man. I want to specifically say shout out to the two women in this video who highlighted this young black man, and more so specifically, shout out to the main woman that's going to be a part of this video, who actually started a GoFundMe for this young man who took a shift at Burger King, because he works there. He took a late shift at Burger King right after his graduation ceremony. And this also, killing two birds with one stone. This also goes to show and goes against the narrative of what everybody likes to spin out there when it deals with the young black youth out there, and how it is that, quote unquote, they don't care about the education, they don't care about graduating and all this other type of stuff. And this also goes against the narrative that a lot of people like to say, that black people don't like to work. Black people are not focused. Black people always want handouts, right? So let's get directly into the video. See, that's the young man right there, still in graduation gear, taking that late night shift, 10 p.m. after graduation ceremony.
Working today. Hopefully we find them, so we'll let you know in a bit.
This is dope. This is actually pretty dope.
I'm Maria. Hi, Maria. You are? Demisha. Michael's mother. I'm Michael. You must be very proud of Michael, right? I am. My daughter graduated the same night that he graduated. Okay. And all I wanted for dinner was a Whopper. And it was so late. I remember it was almost 11 o'clock at night when everything was over with. Right. We came in a drive-thru and I saw him. I noticed that he had just graduated. I'm like, oh my God, look at him. He's working straight out of graduation, doing his french fries and stuff. And I was like, I'm going to record him. The recording was really bad. But I decided to post it on TikTok. And it became so viral that everybody wants to know about you. And they want to know if you're going to college and what plans you have. Also, I have another little surprise for you. The community wanted to help you out without knowing if you wanted to go to college or not. They asked me to do a GoFundMe for you. So I did a GoFundMe for you, and so far it has raised over $6,000. Here we go. Over $6,000. I told you it was worth it, buddy. I told you. Let's show everybody. The goal was 5,000, and the goal was 5,000. It has been over 6,000. I told you. Beautiful. And everybody wants to know. Come on, I need some. Oh, bless me. On graduation night and at the graduation. I'm gonna figure out. I'm never gonna go fund me in my life, but I'm gonna figure out how we connected and how I can transfer this to you, and we can show the world that it's been done. Because some people have said, I'm gonna keep it. I'm not that type of person, but I am so glad that that the community has really come forward with your son?
Hard work. Hard work.
Tell us what you want to do for college. I mean, what you want to go to school for?
I'm gonna take a gap year, but I'm thinking about going to technical college for automotive.
Automotive, okay.
Yes,
We will keep everybody posted. And this is him. I'm gonna get his phone number, his mama's number, and we're gonna keep y'all connected.
Thank you so much. Like, I was thinking about taking a gap year because I ain't ever had the money for school, but like, thank you to all of y'all because now I might actually just go straight to technical college and get my mechanical and start helping other people. Cause I actually been watching stuff on YouTube like this, and I ain't never think it was gonna happen to me. But like, I'm very thankful. So thank you very much.
God was watching over you.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
He walked right off the graduation stage and clocked in to his shift at Burger King, still wearing his graduation medals, working the drive-thru. This is Mikhail Baker, and he had just finished graduation when he saw that the Burger King restaurant he works at was really backed up. So he went behind the counter and jumped in to lend a hand. That's when Mom Maria Mendoza went through for a Whopper and saw him working the drive-thru, still wearing those graduation medals. She says he was kind and polite, had a huge smile on his face, and she wanted to honor him. So she posted the video online, sharing his story and how impressed with him she was. She wanted to raise money for a scholarship for Mikhail. And man, did the community come through. Maria raised $6,000 for him and went right back to that same Burger King to deliver the good news. She met Mikhail and his mom and says they were both just in tears. And she was in tears, thinking about what an incredible community came together to support this amazing kid. It's actually Maria's birthday today, and she says her biggest birthday blessing is knowing that the community showed up to recognize such an amazing young man. Congratulations on your graduation, Mikhail. I know you have a very bright future ahead of you.
So again, like I said before, shout out to the two women. I highlight this. Shout out to Maria for taking the initiative, for deciding to do that, to highlight that. Like I said, it's crazy work. And I wanted to give y'all an update at this moment in time. The GoFundMe that she started actually is at 184K. So remember when and this, how long has this GoFundMe been up? Let me see if I can let me see. Do they tell you the time? I'm trying to find. Okay, that's one update. She gave an update. I don't know how to, because I'm on the GoFundMe right now. I can't specifically see how long it's been up, but I don't think it's been up really that long, because if I go back and look at the stories, I think people are talking about the story 2 or 3 days ago or something like that. But basically, probably within or less than a week, this GoFundMe has been up. But irregardless, you got about 5.2K donations, and the original goal was 60K, right? So remember, in the video, she said that it raised 3K, and the young dude, he was ecstatic and crying. Like, he was just appreciative just over the fact, again, he just graduated, and people were just an outpouring of love and support, and people just showed up to somebody that they did not know, but because of his work ethic, because of what it is that he was specifically doing, people are like, yo, I got you, we're going to throw something your way. And again, he is now hold on, let me just refresh it, just let me see, 184,269. Okay, yeah. So it's still sitting at the 184,269K at this moment and time. Like I said, that's dope. That is very awesome. Like I said, shout out to everybody that donated to this young man. And the crazy thing is, if you actually look this story up and you look on Reddit, you'll have people that will still complain. You'll have people sitting up there saying like, oh, it's a great uplifting story, but there's tons of other people who are just graduated, and they're working a late night shift. I'm like, oh my god. I'm like, here we so he can't just have something nice. He just can't have something nice. Magically, you're talking about these what ifs for all of these other people. And the main thing I like to say is this: if you're in the state of what about the other people out there, why don't you go find those people and do like Maria did and start a GoFundMe for them, instead of trying to make it seem as though that this is a whole, it's good but it's selfish at the same time. What about other people and all? Like, don't nobody got time for that. Don't nobody got time for that. Like I said, somehow, some way, you always have people directly out here trying to dim what little bit of light that somebody black just so happens to get. Whenever something positive happens to black people, somehow, some way, people want to, oh, but it's great that that happened, but what about all the other people that are more needy and that deserve, not saying that this person doesn't deserve, but there's more needy people, and other people that aren't getting highlighted, other people that aren't as, privileged and don't have this. And oh my God. Oh my God. Like I said, it's crazy. But like I said, shout out to these two women. Shout out to Maria for highlighting this young man and helping out the family realistically. Because I'm pretty sure that close to 200K that will be able to help him out, especially in college. Let's say if he happens to go, he can afford to go to a nicer school. Like I said, I'm not sure what college he was going to specifically go to, but now he has the money to literally make that choice for, like a 4-year college to, go get that degree and chase whatever dreams, that he has. And I'm pretty sure that this young man is going to be very successful, because a lot of people would not go to, work after they just did graduation. They trying to go celebrate. They trying to go party, hang out with friends, do all this other type of stuff. He was like, nah, I'm cool. I'm about to, all right, I graduated. Cool. Now it's time for me to, you know, do what grown folks normally do. Right. Like I said, it's dope. 100%. But now we're going to go to the next story. Let me see. Is this the right video?
And then
So, matter of fact, I'll just play the video. I'm not even going to preface it. I'm just going to play the video. I'm going to have my opinions directly after. Let's get into it.
it's a white girl on the truck. And then I tell them, that white girl can cook. and see, here's the thing. People come to this window and they see Sydney and they swear up and down. They move on like, oh, no, this is a soul food truck. It's a white girl on the truck. And then I tell them, that white girl can cook. Right, Sydney? Best boudin maker in town, huh? She does it. And she works hard, too. So don't judge a book by its cover. Because Sydney Mae Brown over there can cook. And she know how to run this truck by herself. Say hi. Hi.
So I just want to say this. I'm just gonna put this very kindly. Like I said, it's great. Let me just highlight Sydney real quick, right? Ordinary white girl working in a food truck with a black woman. Black woman amping her up like, yo, she know how to cook, this, that, and the third, all this other type of stuff. I want people to know and very much understand, because of proximity, this is how the access or the keys are given, right? So because you have one person is affiliated with said person, that automatically gives them the direct invitation or the invite, or by association, this now allows said person to have access to the community. Now, I'm just trying to make people understand this is exactly how this works. So if you happen to see, I think her name was like Sydney, if you happen to see her with a black guy, you know exactly why, right? She's with a black woman who is amping her up, who's putting her all over social media. It's like, yeah, she working my food truck. She knows how to cook this, that, and the third, all this other type of stuff. And people can't believe it and yada, yada, yada. She can work this whole food truck, directly by herself, right? That's what she stated. So what do you think is going to happen when black guys pull up to, and when I just want to be very specific, when you think soul food, you automatically think black people. You're not thinking Latin, you're not thinking Dominican, you're not thinking Caribbean, you're not thinking African, you're not thinking Mexican, you're not thinking European, you're thinking black people, more specifically black Americans, because that is our food. So when you happen to have black dudes basically rolling up here trying the food and be like, you cook this? What do you think is going to set up and happen? What do you think is going to happen? Just because of association within being in proximity to quote unquote black culture and having somebody that is a different face doing what it is that people in our family has been doing every single day. This is how things like this. That's the one main reason I wanted to highlight this to people, because people get it confused on, be like, yeah, all of these black guys out here always chasing down. Nah, a lot of them be in close proximity. They just be there because who not whoever allowed them directly into the community and whatnot or whatever, and you highlighted them, you gave them the okay, you gave them whatnot or whatever that they needed to be amongst the community, and here we are. Here we are. So I'm not too, I won't be too shocked or surprised if young Sydney here ends up opening her own soul food restaurant and it becomes majorly popular. And she'll have like franchise chains and all this other type of stuff. And then you'll see her on MSNBC, Fox, and all over IG and everything like that. And the craziest part is, I promise you that white girl will be able to do a soul food restaurant. And you will have tons of black people that will actually, excuse me, that will actually support her. I can promise you that, because I've seen it so many times that whenever it is that we have somebody else that is different from us doing something that we normally do, black people always encourage it. Black people always blow it up. They will always support it. They will always shout it out. They will do this. They'll do that. But when it deals with black people just simply doing what it is that we do and opening up a business, the business would be struggling. They be struggling because magically, for whatever reason, black people don't want to pull up to the scene and really support black businesses the same way that they support all of these other businesses that we have in the United States. We'll support a KFC. We'll support a churches. We'll support a Chick-fil-A. We'll support a Wendy's. We'll support a McDonald's. We'll support a Burger King and all of these Chipotle, all of these other restaurants. We will go there by the hundreds of thousands of black people. We'll just go there. Even the Starbucks, we'll go there and support them. But seemingly, for whatever reason, we don't have that exact same energy and dedication and money when it deals with black businesses, black food businesses within our own communities. It's crazy work how that happens. And like I said before, the only time I'm just going to be real. It seems as though that if somebody black starts something, the moment in time that the rest of the world jumps in on what it is that person is doing, then the black community will sit up there and pull up to the scene after support has already been given by other groups of people. And I'm talking about heavy support. Heavy support. I'm not talking about light work. I'm talking about heavy support. But, maybe it's just me. I don't know. I don't know. Don't know what to tell people. It's crazy work, though, but somebody said, man, if somebody knows how to cook what I like, they could be green, purple, striped, and I'm going to love them a little. I mean, that's great, but you're talking about something drastically different. That's that we're like, let me, I'm being very specific. That's great. If you have somebody that can just cook, that's great. This is dealing with proximity. This is almost pretty much touching on the whole thing of a culture vulture-ish type of deal, where people are, in a sense, befriended by way of the black community, allowed to come to the cookout, allowed to come into the culture, allowed to be around black Americanness. And by proxy of that, they then absorb and take what it is that they need, come up with some type of game plan, and then they're off to the races creating their own businesses. And it's all white everything or all whatever everything. Right? It has black culture directly attached to it, but when you look at the business who started it, nobody black. Anybody that's co-owner of the business, nobody black. The people who are working in the restaurant, more than likely, not even black. That's what I'm talking about. And I'm also talking on a broader aspect of the fact of how a lot of these individuals, such as a Sydney or whatever the young girl's name is, are able to get into close proximity and or contact with the black men directly out here. Like I said, people don't understand the peep game, right? If you are a woman of a different culture and you want an easy way to be able to get close to black men, number one, you learn how to cook the food, right? Number two, you be cool directly with the locals, the culture, or whatnot, or whatever. Number three, you have a black woman basically hype you up. You have any one of those or a combination of all three, it's over. It's over. Like I said, I've seen it before. It's literally happening right now. You can go online. And like I try to tell people, like, yo, you keep being side by side and allowing these people in, yo, it's not going to be too long before everything is yet again taken over, just like it was before. But as I stated before, black people don't learn. Black people seemingly learn through pain. So there's going to be a lot of pain that needs to be given in order for black Americans to actually learn and understand specifically what time it is and how it is that you should, allow people, hundreds of miles of space. You can look from the outside. You just can't come in. Right? Because far too many times, black Americans, again, have allowed a variety of cultures, a variety of people in, and we've always been disrespected. We've always been taken advantage of because we are actually nice. Like I said, I can't speak for the rest of the world, but I can sit up there and tell you the rest of the world is not as accepting of other people as black Americans are. This is why we are the most used. This is why we are the most copied. This is why we are the most taken advantage of. Because we are just too nice. Like I said, people are gonna, have to learn the hard way. Yep. Oh yeah, Gail said just like how black women were the ones hyping up the other people, and now they upset. They call them so. Yeah, it'd be like that. It'd be like that. Shan was like, I mean, I can cook soul food, Chinese, French cuisine, Italian, and etc. I'm making lasagna tomorrow. I will never let Becky get her hands on my recipe. They steal too much. That's facts. That's bars. That is bars. Wait, Jay, what are you talking about? You said the numbers don't show. I'm a little bit confused. What you mean? What you mean the numbers don't show? Are you talking about what I'm talking about, or I don't know? All right, we got somebody trolling. Who else? Sean Williams said not based in reality. I'm not sure what you're talking about. Linda Graham said, get over yourself. Why are you offended? Let's talk about it, Linda. Why are you so offended? Why are you so offended? So I specifically stated how black Americans are the nicest group directly out here, how we're pretty much accepting of everybody. It doesn't matter your ethnicity, religion, sexuality, whatnot, or whatever, right? Even to the detriment of ourselves and our own culture, we are accepting, and we're still accepting still at this moment in time, no matter how, taken advantage of, that we've had to deal with, right? No matter how it is that people want to take directly from our culture, from either our food, the way that we dress, and all this other type of stuff. Like I said before, I can pull up pictures and show you these high-end fashion designers taken directly from black culture, the way that black people normally dress. The main things that your people would sit up there, who's it? Let me make sure, Linda Graham. The main thing that your people would sit up there say, like, oh, you guys are thugs, criminals, drug dealers, gangbangers, prostitutes, right? The same way that the hoods, right, would normally dress. It's magical how I can sit up there and see that on a Paris, runway fashion scene. I'm like, that's a little bit weird. Why would white folks even want to dress like black folks, quote unquote, in the hoods, or as you guys say, in the ghettos? That's a little bit weird to me. But like I said before, within proximity, this is what you guys like to do. You guys like to sit up there and criticize, but then you want to, also mock at the same time. But then you're like, oh, I think I can, take a couple of boys and, we can make some money out of this. What they got? Sagging pants. They got some jeans, some jackets. Okay, we can turn this into some high-end fashion. We'll be in Paris in about 3 months. Just give us a little bit of time. We'll have a show. I've literally watched these fashion shows. I've watched these runways throughout the weeks, and I see a lot of black culture directly on the European runway fashion. Explain that to me. I would expect to see more European and white culture directly out there. I would expect to actually see those elements, but that's not what I happen to get or see, which is crazy, diabolical. But you want to tell us to try to get over ourselves. That's some crazy. Like without us, y'all would be bored. Just to be real, without Black Americans being in the United States, y'all would actually be bored. Case in point of this boredom, Graham. Go back and look at your European history. When you didn't have anybody else out there that was looking different from you, what were y'all naturally sitting up there doing for hundreds of years? Y'all were sitting up there taking yourselves out. Y'all were warring. Y'all were having civil wars, all types of discourse, all types of lives basically gone. Y'all couldn't even deal with your own selves. The only time that y'all took a break was when y'all realized, oh, there's some other people out here that we can actually take advantage of and we can war with. Let's call a truce for right now, and let's go over to Africa. Let's go to India. Let's go to Australia. Let's go to South America. Let's go to Canada. Y'all went everywhere else. Let's go to China. Right? Let's go to y'all was going everywhere else because you wanted to stop that fixation that you have with going against one another, took a truce and went everybody else. So instead of having that energy with yourselves as you normally did for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years, y'all decided to place all that energy elsewhere. Yeah. But you want us to get over ourselves. Crazy work. Diabolical. Philip Leonard said, what is real Black fashion? Please come here to Africa. We are the... What are you even talking about? What are you even talking about? That's some crazy work. I don't even know what you're talking about. I know you're not African sitting up here trying to claim anything of Black American fashion. Please don't do that. Please don't do that, because I done looked at a lot of videos and y'all got some of y'all people directly out here dressing in the early 2000s. Like y'all still with the lean with it, rock with it. Y'all still with the G Unit era. Y'all still with the Yule Soldier Boy era. Y'all still with the DJ Unk. Now walk it out. Like what are we doing? My drinking, my two-step. Like, please. Please. Like I said before, the main thing I tell you about this, right? The one thing I love about Africa, right, is when I get a chance to see the native people there wear their traditional wear, right? It looks beautiful. It's colorful. It's vibrant. Tells a lot of stories. Has a lot of heritage and life directly wrapped directly in it. The thing that I find very odd when I see Africans is when they're dressed and talking as Black Americans and they ain't never been to America. I'm like, that's weird. I've never been to Africa, and you're not going to catch me trying to, switch my dialect and whatnot or whatever to be African. That doesn't make any sense. Nor are you going to automatically see me try to just copy every single thing and aesthetic of Africans in the way that they dress. And I'm not going to do that because that's not me. Like I said, it's a difference when, let's say, if I'm wearing some kente cloth and that's in a form of a celebration, that's to sit up there and show some type of love, value, and dedication to, the Africans directly, over there. It's a complete difference versus me trying to basically take on the whole appearance. Like I said, I would never do that. For me, that's disrespectful. I've never been to Africa, nor am I that. Nor am I'm not of those tribes, anything of that nature. So I would not dare try to disrespect one's culture in that sense. Right? Hopefully that made sense to, some of the people directly out there. Hopefully. Let me see. Yeah. Iron Will said dressing like Nelly and Country Grammar. Yeah, like I said, it's crazy. Like that is 100% diabolical. Like I said, I would never, again, I would never do that to any, melanated people's culture directly out there. I'm not going to try to take your culture. I'm not going to try to fake as though that I'm you. I'm not. I don't know how to be you. And that's just being an honest thing. I know how to be Black American, and that is it. Like I say, even if I were to leave now and go to Africa, I'm still going to dress and talk the exact same way that I've been sitting up here talking. Because, like I said, I am a guest. I don't care if I've been there for 30 years. I am a guest. I could be there for 60 years. I'm still a guest. That does not mean I am of you or part of you. I'm still a guest directly in your home. And as that, I'm going to behave as such. But like I said before, a lot of people don't have the same respect that Black Americans normally have. Right? Obviously, everybody wasn't taught the exact same way. This is why I happen to see people all over the world copying the aesthetics. Just so happening. Hold on, give me a second. My bad, I had to sit up there and take that. But yeah, like I said, it doesn't make any type of sense. I would never do anything like that. Again, the type of love and respect that and value that Black Americans have, how it is that we were taught and how it is that we tried to give this to other people, those same energies are not given back in return, and that is a fact. I've looked all around the world, and factually speaking, people do not give, and I'm talking about in general, people do not give the same love and respect and value that Black Americans give to other people. That's just facts. It's not a symbiotic relationship. It's a parasitic relationship where the others are basically latching on to Black Americans, siphoning off of, whatever energies of life force that we have so that they can survive and thrive, right? While we get nothing in return. Like I said, shout out to some of the disagrees that we got directly in the comment section. Diabolical work, but it be like that. And to Graham and many others, out there like you, if y'all mad about that, I don't know what it is. I don't know what else to tell you, because at this moment in time, I'm looking at a lot of your white kids out here trying to be rappers. Bad Barbie, that's one of y'all's. Ginger Lee, that's one of y'all's. That's not ours. MGK, well, he's now doing pop rock or something alternative. I don't know what he's doing right now, but he got a summer anthem. Y'all can go check that out. That's crazy work, but it be like that. That man went from rap, he went to rock, he went to pop. Crazy work. Taylor Swift didn't even make that many transformations. Diabolical. He made one less step than Miley Cyrus. One less step. And I think let me see. She did country, she did pop, she did rap, and I think she might have did one other thing. But like I said, there's a lot of y'all kids from y'all communities trying to be rappers. Craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. I would think that they want to be country stars, right? Because that is white culture for all intents and purposes. Again, I know how a lot of the things in music and whatnot came directly from Black culture. Please. So I already understand it. I'm just saying, for the basis of what we see today, when you look at the faces of country music awards, when you look at the sea of crowd, you see a sea of white folks. So that's what I'm basically saying, right? So country music for face point value is white. You would think that white kids would go into that. You would think that they would happen to go into rock. Again, rock, we know, well, for some of us, we know where rock specifically came directly from and how that was created and who spearheaded, that whole thing before everybody else jumped on board, right? But I'm saying, for face value wise, you would think that they would jump towards that. But again, they want to be rappers. Crazy work. Diabolical. Something that is not even of their culture. Something that they themselves did not even create. Something that is not biologically even a part of them. They don't really got no stories to tell. Just to be real, a lot of white kids out here, they don't got no stories to tell. Why would you want to sit up there and rap like, some young Black guys in the hood? Like, what? Like that don't even. Why would you even want to be in proximity to the lifestyle that they are forced to live because of the economy, because of the government, because of everything that takes place in the United States? Like I said, it's weird directly to me. Being white, and you want to be in such close proximity, and you want to be able to tell the same exact stories as black people. That's crazy work. I would think that you want to rap about what? Living in the suburbs, having two parents, having your girl Ashley from middle school to high school to college, getting married, having a 401k, doing Forex, doing good on your taxes, driving a Mercedes, like going to Aspen or Italy. Like, those should be the things, that you're rapping about. But that's not going to hit as hard. It's not going to be tough. Nobody's going to buy it or listen to it, even other white folks. So they got to adapt. They got to learn. They got to listen. And they got to do the exact same thing. The blueprint, black people, the blueprint, black Americans, they got to sit up there and take that and copy it and run with it, along with the accent, which is crazy. And this is what I sit up there and mean when I'm detailing the fact that a lot of people take from black culture. Whenever I happen to hear white boys rap and I look at them, the whole mannerisms, that's black. It's all black men. It's all young black guys. I'm looking at the body position, looking at how he's sitting up there straightening and the arm, shoulder movements, and how he's rocking back and forth, his hands, pronunciations of words. I'm like, this is crazy. But you got somebody like Linda Graham that want to tell black people like, oh, get over yourselves. It's crazy work. It's crazy work. But like I said, it's the crazy part is the only one that's stupid, Andy, is basically you. That's the diabolical part. That's the one thing that I love so much. You saying that people are, you have fun listening to stupid people, but you're the dumbass literally in this chat, right? If I was so dumb and not intelligent, you wouldn't be here. Right? Or better yet, wouldn't that mean that your IQ would be dumbing down since you're actually here listening to a stupid person? That's not something that a high IQ individual would actually do, right? But like I said, you guys are the ones that came from Neanderthals. It'd be like that. Diabolical work. In comes a new challenger. We got, straight, cavemen in here popping up to the scene that decided, they want to sit up here and talk. It's crazy. Like I said before, when I happen to think about the sun, Andy, this is not what I happen to think about, right? When I go out in the sun, this does not, happen to me. I never look like this. I wonder why that is. Right? Because you wanted to say that I'm in a sense a stupid person. A person that is melanin deficient should not ever happen to talk to me like that when you go out in the sun and look like this. That's all I'm saying. I'm talking about I've been out there in about 80 degrees, sitting up there, and I'm talking about in Detroit, 80 in Detroit, cutting grass, trimming the yard, and all of this. I've never come out like that at all. I've cooked chicken that has never come out looking like that. I don't even know what that is, as a matter of fact. So again, shout out to those in the comment section that want to pull up to the scene, and you decide that you want to call me stupid. You want to happen to call me ignorant. Just remember, this is how and what the sun does to you. It's never done that to me. So again, there's a tier list. There are direct levels when it deals with this and how the universe, in a sense, works. The sun loves some of us, not all of us. I'm a part of the demographic of which the sun actually loves. Like I said, me and the sun got a mutual relationship. It's a beautiful thing. 100%. Beautiful, 100%. Obviously you and the sun, y'all got a disagreement somewhere. Y'all got to figure that out. Because I know what God did for me. I don't know what God did for you. Like I said, the universe speaks and you ain't listening. So for anybody else in the background that want to come up to the scene and be like Andy or anybody else stupid, just remember that this is how the sun sees you and this is what it does. Let's leave that comparison there. When you want to talk about somebody who is stupid versus somebody who's not. I listen to God. You don't. You want to challenge it. It's some crazy work. Diabolical in nature. Now that we got that directly out the way, let's go to the next video here.
black fatigue or Caribbean fatigue? Let's talk about it. I think it's interesting that when something negative is going on, everybody's black, but when something positive is going on, suddenly they're Caribbean and African. I guarantee you if you go to your favorite stripper's page, you'll see a foreign flag in their bio, at least 95% of the time. In recent American history, there has been a large influx of immigrants. And isn't it interesting that this correlates with the large rise of ratchetness? See, back in the 80s, 70s, 60s, 50s, 40s, black American women wouldn't dream of being this ratchet. But you know who was ratchet back then? The people who have carnivals on their islands where they're half naked all day. Caribbeans will make sure everybody knows that they're Caribbean while they're graduating college, but while they're on the stripper pole, they're yelling black this, black that. And the backlash falls on black American women. Caribbean fatigue is what we're experiencing, not black fatigue.
That was a first for me. Never heard that one before, but I will happen to say this, right? To go a little bit in depth, and this goes into somebody that I think he's Nigerian, right? Anybody remembers Dancing Groove or Dancing Gorilla, whichever his name was, right? Y'all know who I was talking about because you've more than likely seen him on social media. He's this big, for all intents and purposes, big muscular black guy, and he's mostly known for just dancing to songs. This dude looks like he should have been playing football or something like that, but he opted to gain all that muscle to dance. And then he also does his favorite shark bite, right? Where he takes these ginormous bites directly out of food and says how good, the food basically is, right? And he had a lot of names directly out there, one of which had gorilla in it, and the black community got on him and let him know, like, yo, don't do that. You're in America. Don't do that. That's disrespectful. That's going directly into this whole thing, dealing with the system here and what it is that they would normally call us. You need to specifically change, that name. And he did, right? After some time, he changed that name to Dancing Groove or Groove Dance, whatever it was, right? But that guy decided that all the time that he was dancing, gyrating, dancing on or around white people and white women and doing all of this stuff, he wasn't sitting up there telling you that he was African. Everybody was looking at him as like, oh, he's an American. He's a black American, right? Because that's originally what I thought up until I looked at his actual profile and I saw the flag. Then I was like, I see the game. I see the game. And he has a point. And I've talked about this a multitude of times on hey Zeus, thank you. You said Groovy Gorilla. Yeah. You said he may be Nigerian or Ghanaian. Yeah, he's one of them. I just like to say African because it covers the whole spectrum. it just covers the whole spectrum just in case, right? We just know that he's not black American. But for all intents and purposes, that's how he was pushing. You didn't hear him speaking his lingo. You didn't hear him speaking his tribe, his name. You didn't really see him online dressing in his natural garb every single time he was doing this to let everybody know that, yo, he's African doing this and acting this way. He's not black American. He's right. This dude is 1,000% right. Whenever it is that people are doing things that would be considered a negative or detrimental, it's all black everything. But as I've told and showed you guys before, I even got videos where you got some kids. I can't even say black. You got some young men graduating directly from college, and you got people like, Haitian, all this other type of. I'm like, dog, you graduate. What did you being Haitian got to do with this? Jamaican, Nigerian, and I'm like, oh. And I told y'all this before, just like when I saw one of the dudes from the Chief, I think he was Haitian or Nigerian, something, or anything that's not black American. Whenever it is that people will make it, whenever it is that is something positive, they make sure to separate it away from black Americans. They'll give all of the degenerate behavior, all of the gang behavior, all of the negative behavior. They'll throw all of that on all black everything. But when it's positive, we got to separate this. We got to let you know, hey, this is what Haitians do. Oh, this is what Nigerians do. This is how Jamaicans get down. This is how everybody else gets down other than black Americans. And this is why I keep trying to tell, yo, Like I said, if people don't believe me, go online. If people do not believe what I'm saying, go directly online and look this stuff directly up. Like I said, it's crazy work out there. 100%. Want to give a much love and appreciation to the bro Hamalat Ty Dollar for the $10 dono to the channel. And he said, because I can. This man right here. Much love, respect, and appreciation, brother. Much love, much love, much love. What is going on? Let me see. We also got Ty back in it again with the $4 dono. We want to round that 99 up to $5 dono to the channel. Again, much love, respect, and appreciation. Thank you, thank you. Much love, much love. This man was like, okay, I'm done. Sham said Nigerians are always so prejudiced against black or even other oppressed Africans. They let those Chinese colonize Nigeria, and they're about to learn the hard way. That's facts. That is 100% facts. 100% facts. Shout out to Hack, who said howdy y'all for the $2 dono to the channel. Much love, respect, and appreciation. Hack, much love, much love, much love. Also, as D Money would normally say, shout out to all the regulars. Shout out to all the regulars directly, in the live stream, in the chat, and everything in that nature. Let me see. Jack Albright said, get off of my phone. If I wanted to watch a live stream, I would have clicked on one. Hold on, I gotta highlight this. I actually gotta do some editing real quick. Because a lot of simpletons don't actually know how to talk without cussing. Diabolical work. I love it though. All you have to do, let me just, because I love when people want to come directly onto my chat and they want to act like savages. No problem. Like I said, I got time. I can sit there and highlight. It's cool. It is 100% cool. Like I said, so just in case people can't see from either one side of the comment section or the other, this is what Jack decided to say. He was like, get off of my phone. If I wanted to watch a live stream, I would have clicked on one. Go expletive yourself. That's some diabolical work. Jack, I don't know where all of this animosity and this hatred, comes from. I didn't even know you existed before you let me know that you existed. And, I decided to give you some of my light in order to highlight your dumbassery. And here we are. Here we are. Like I said, shout out to the randoms that want to, let me know that they happen to see the live stream and they don't like either my voice, the content, or what it is that I'm doing. It ain't my fault. That sounds like a skill issue. Realistically, you can easily tell this is a live stream because it's not pre-recorded. I'm pretty sure it actually tells you that there's a timer more than likely above on the screen, because I can see that on the back of YouTube Studio, so I know what it is that I'm talking. Like I said, it's crazy work. The rage. I can only imagine this dude using his thumbs to, sit up there and type and to get angry and frustrated. All you had to do was flip. I mean, even if you flip a couple of pages down, you might see me again. So, be like that. As I commonly tell people, don't get mad, get glad, and just hit the block button so you don't have to worry about seeing me again. That's all you have to do. We can be friends in silent. We can do that. And I did say silent instead of silence because it'd be like that. But anyways, we got Reed said people did a similar thing with Kai Cenat, that his bad behavior associated to Black Americans. Yeah, you would be correct. You would be correct, but like I said, it's a back and forth thing dealing with Kai Cenat. There's some positive things there, but then on the other end, I still have the whole ringing in my ear where he was like, basically Black Americans don't have a culture. But I'm like, when I look at the way that you dress, the way that you talk, knowing the fact that you are, correct me if I'm wrong, I could swear he's Haitian. Knowing that because I saw like a flag or something like that, right? But any which way it goes, he's not Black American. And for you to basically say that Black Americans have no culture, but yet everything that you're doing is basically of and from us. That's crazy. That's diabolical. Like I said, it'd be great if the people that want to be ultra disrespectful would just, talk in their language, talk in their tone, talk in their accent. Don't try to, take from Black American culture and speak like us, talk like us, walk like us, dress like us. Like, yo, dress how your people do. Before they found out about Black Americans, do that. Talk how your people talk before they got introduced and found out about Black Americans. Right? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Much love and appreciation to Sham for, as she called it, the spam dono for the $10. Shout out for the $10 dono. To the channel. Much love, respect, and appreciation. Shout out, shout out, shout out. Anthony said the tethers. D Money says still waiting on my 10%. This man right here. This man. Carl said, looks like Jack is not a bright person at all. That is facts. That is facts. D Money said my 10% finder's fee, which is 10% of all future proceeds from your business. Oh, that's crazy work. Gail says you taught Carson not everything he knows. Now he acts like he don't know Seiji. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's diabolical. Don't pay no attention to Gail. Don't pay no attention to her. Gail said Kyle looks like Diddy. That's crazy. PS said, what does Black American mean? Well, for all intents and purposes, Black American is reference. Let me just correct myself. Basically, it's like saying original, indigenous. This is us. This is our home. Anything that is dealing with us or connected to us is basically our culture. We, created things of that nature. Again, this is just surface level type of thing. There are other people that can go way more in depth than what I'm doing clearly at this moment in time. But Black Americans have always had to be rebranded by way of outside forces such as political officials, the government, some people even in the civil rights, right? So other people were able to rebrand and all this other type of stuff when it dealt with Black Americans. We're the most named or rebranded group of people out there, bar none, versus anybody else. And for me, that makes no sense. And it's a little bit way too confusing. And when you start to notice that something's being rebranded too many times and nobody knows specifically why, there is a severe, serious reason behind it that they don't want to tell you. And when it is that a lot of people out here want to specifically attack Black Americans and they want to have some type of voice when Black Americans talk about reparations or the things that are owed to them by way of the United States government. And the whole world wants to stop and stare and be like, no, you guys don't deserve reparations. Stop looking. And I'm talking about in unison, like the whole world. That's a problem. Rebranding, that's a problem. Other people in control of their branding, again, is a problem. The whole world coming against Black Americans when it deals with reparations is a problem. You even have people that are from the islands, that are from Africa and many other places that get into political positions and they decide that they want to represent the Black community because they are, in a sense, a melanated face. And when the conversation of reparations comes up, they want to sit up there and shoot down the reparations. So this is why you got Black Americans saying that we are Black Americans, basically letting people know that we are different from the other groups directly out here, the exact same way that everybody else lets Black Americans know that, hey, you guys are not of us. We are Haitian, we are African, we are this, we are that, right? Let me see. I'm trying to find out where I forgot his name. Where this guy specifically was. Yes, yes, yes. Yes. Um I'm gonna have to do it a different way. Let me see. I gotta take it. Gotta get this up because I'm gonna show y'all specifically what I'm talking about, just in case people are still confused on what I am referencing here. See if I can get this by refreshing the page. There we go. Yeah, the side parts, those are still gonna be there. I'm not gonna worry about trying to blur those out. I'm not gonna do it. That's not what I was looking for. Hold on. Let me take that down. Remove. Forgot I gotta go to the other piece here. But yeah, like I said before, and correct me if I'm wrong, somebody said that this dude is Jamaican, right? They said Westmore, the nation's lone black governor. See how they said that? Black governor, right? So automatically people would assume that, oh, this dude is black American, right? He vetoes bill to study reparations. This is what black Americans be talking about. How you have a lot of these people that want to masquerade, that want to represent us, but they are not of us. And then they want to intermingle, they want to mix in with our business because their people aren't going to be able to profit off of what it is that we're specifically asking the United States government specifically for. Realistically, those out there, you might want to go talk to Europe. Might want to talk to them real quick. Because correct me if I'm wrong, didn't people say that, oh, there was a boat and everybody was dropped off at like different places? All right, so go talk to Europe, England, whoever directly about that. Black Americans are going to deal with the United States government. We're not going after Europe. We're not going after the UK or whatnot. We're specifically dealing with our government here. So, like I said, how other people are trying to make this a thing where this is a kumbaya moment where everybody's a part of this. No, we're not. Everybody's not a part of this. No. Wait in line. Wait in line, just like black Americans been sitting up here. Wait in line. Don't try to sit up there and try to mix yourself directly in. Like I said before, now magically when it's reparations, everybody wants to be black. When it's outside of reparations, everybody wants to be separate. Everybody wants to, rep their flag and do this and do that. I, as a black American, even if let's say I lived in Jamaica or Haiti, and there were talks of reparations, let's say from Haiti, dealing with the French or whatnot or whatever, dealing with the government, yonder. I would never in my life, even if I was a government representative, I would never in my life decide to meddle in the business of Jamaica or Haiti. Even if I was a government representative there and the Jamaican or the Haitian people voted me to be in, in that position, I would honestly tell the people, I'm like, yo, honestly, this is not for me to do. If you guys could vote direct, we would have to figure out a whole different way. On how the vote would basically go, because I'm not going to sit up there and be like yay or nay. This is y'all fight. This is y'all battle. I'm not going to profit, nor should I profit off of anything that you specifically, those people are going to sit up and get from reparations. I don't even want nothing of it because it has nothing to do with me. Has nothing to do with my heritage. Has nothing to do with my culture. Right? Has nothing to do with the generations of my people. That is specifically y'all. But like I said, it goes back to what I said earlier. The type of love, the type of value, dedication and respect that black Americans give to other people would never sit up there and show that to black Americans. That's how much I value and respect other people's culture, where I would not want to meddle in their business. I would not want to stop what is already in motion. But like I said, everybody else, it's a whole other thing. It's a whole other thing. Like I said, that's crazy to me. It's diabolical. 100% diabolical. Want to give a much love, respect, and appreciation. I'm a little bit late. Much love, respect, and appreciation to Gail, Mrs. Jones. I actually had a song too. For the $2 dono to the channel. Much love and appreciation, Gail. Thank you kindly. Thank you. Let me see what else. Let me make sure I didn't miss some stuff here. Salman, yo, what is up? You said, look at how the Japanese got reparations before black people. They went after the estate of the company owners and they flipped it on the taxpayers. It be like that. I've talked about this before. You got the Chinese and the Japanese that ended up getting reparations directly from the United States. Everybody else got reparations in a sense from the United States before Black Americans ever had a shot. And notice how there was no type of fight. I want people to pay attention to this, right? Other groups out there that got reparations, notice how Black Americans didn't try to impede. We didn't try to come in as a collective, like, oh yeah, we can all get this together. We're all in this together. We didn't do that. It was like, yo, go out there and fight your fight and go out there and get your money. It's well deserved. We're going to sit up there and do the same in return. Respect, love, and power to you. That's what we do. We sit back and let everybody else do what it is that they do. But like I said, that same type of love and respect is not shown. So can't nobody tell me no different. This is how I know that Black Americans are the most hated group directly out here. By the way of how people move, what it is that they see, what it is that they do, how it is that they talk, how it is that they collaborate and get directly into government offices, quote unquote, representing the Black community, but yet they got a whole different agenda. This is why whenever the talks of reparations happen, these talking heads, that are usually, quote unquote, as they want to say, Black people, these are people from elsewhere. These are people that don't even have a lineage or connection to Black Americans. But yet they're the representatives. They're the talking heads. They're the ones that everybody's going to get the point of view, to get the understanding. But that's because they have the sight of, just like white people, how white people want to say, like, oh, Black people don't deserve reparations. A lot of these people directly out here who are these talking heads, who are, quote unquote, supposedly Black people, officials, representatives, they got the exact same talking points. And then with add insult to injury, they'll go on the same conversation, because I've seen it before. Seen an African do this. They'll go on the same conversation and be like, well, I don't see the point of reparations because, as an African myself, and my family came here pretty much with nothing. The same talking point everybody says, came here with nothing. And we pulled ourselves up by our bootstraps. We weren't looking for handouts. We weren't looking for this. We weren't looking for that. And we built it up for ourselves. So from my point of view, this is why, quote unquote, Black Americans, don't need reparations or don't deserve it, because many other people never got anything and they were able to get successful and get an education. Like, I'm like, dog, mind your business. Mind your business. Like, why is it so difficult for people to just mind your business? Like, there's a lot of African business going on at this moment in time, which a lot of Africans don't seemingly want to sit up there and talk about or support. Mr. Ibram. Right, shout out to that man raising up there in Burkina for sure. Shout out to that man for everything that he's sitting up there doing. Shout out to the other men directly out there holding that strong line and trying to show the rest of Africa, like, yo, stand up, straighten your backs, do this and that, stand up against Europe. Shout out to them for being that front, for creating what it is that they're creating at this moment in time. Shout out to them. And like I said, you see how the demonization is starting to take place and happen. The same thing that we've always told people. So everything that's going on in Burkina Faso and how everything is rolling directly over there, you got a talking face who is supposed to be a United States military general and all this other type of stuff, aka a quote unquote Black man, sitting up there, but like, yo, those are enemies. They're doing this and they're doing that. We need to go over there and put a stop to. Man, shut up. Like I said, you can't trust people out here. You cannot trust people out here. Crazy, crazy work. Diabolical. Sham said, while we need to study reparations, pay Black Americans what they are owed. You capitalize off of slavery as a government, which is theft. Pay that money back. That is bars. That is bars. Crazy. Man, y'all still sitting up here talking about this whole thing, dealing with what, brother? Y'all been getting government assistance since the whole thing dealing with the United States government. The government was built for you. The government was literally built directly for you. You've been getting all types of welfare, all types of benefits and whatnot or whatever. No matter what it was called, y'all were getting handouts. Y'all were getting help directly from the government. Like, it's crazy how y'all want to make it seem like, oh, your reparations 60 years, y'all was doing that and that. Let me make you understand something, because I know you're white. Matter of fact, hold on, because we gotta sit up there and have this conversation. I want you to know and understand this, right? If the government actually put everything on an even playing field, which they will never do, the government has never been about an even playing field. Like I said, we can look at Vietnam, see how that went, right? Let's just look and see how that went, right? Y'all don't like to talk about losses. Y'all don't like to talk about the Vietnam War, right? When warfare is on an even playing field and people are just able to do what it is that they normally do, you see what happens. So in order to level out the playing field for you guys, you had to put in a lot of rules and regulations because you realized that the same individuals that you considered free labor and slaves were actually very dedicated and hardworking people. Talking about the Black Americans, right? The ones who are from a lineage of chattel slavery. You realize that they are very dedicated people, very hardworking people. And once they are able to be let free and put their minds directly to something that you told them that they can't do, they're going to excel directly at it to let you know how good they are, to know how capable they are. This was the whole reason that you guys didn't want slaves to know how to read, right? Crazy work. Y'all didn't want them to learn how to read. Y'all didn't want them to learn how to write or do anything because you felt that they should just do the will of God, aka the will of you. Always obey the master. Follow that whole thing, right? Crazy work. Diabolical in nature. And the funniest thing is that even with all of this, some of you guys are still getting money directly off of slavery one way or another. I'm talking about long money. I'm talking about money from the olden days, from back in those days, that is still current at this moment in time, which allowed America to facilitate a lot of things at this moment. Because if you technically look at it, America is technically broke, just to be real, just to be honest. And you're not going to sit up there and try to make the claim as you're doing right now, um, to try to say that the Black Americans had anything to do with that. We can't even venture on to that part and decide to say anything like that. But like I said before, no matter how conversations go, you guys always want to bring up welfare and surround Black people with it. That's some crazy work. Even though y'all get the lion's share of all of these government assistance, but y'all don't want to talk about that. This is why we ended up having Life. What was it? Time magazine. They literally had an article. Not even an article. They literally had the front cover of a book. Never forget it. Where it was a white woman living in a nice suburban home, beautiful, nice, large kitchen, and it was talking about welfare and the recipients. Do you know why they had the white woman on the front cover? One can only guess. Because if the welfare queen is supposed to be a Black woman, why would they have a white woman on the cover talking about welfare? Interesting, isn't it? But it'd be like that. It'd be like that. Mm-mm-mm. Let's see here. We have, yeah, D Money was like, "Where's your platform?" Yeah, that's some crazy work. Like I said, the funniest thing is when I'm actually directing energy towards other people, you'll have other people that aren't getting specific energy. They feel left out, and now they want to start, saying, little jabs and whatnot in the comment section, in order, to get that type of time. That's some crazy work. Like I said before, if you don't like my platform or got a problem, why be here? But like I said, you need attention. You sitting up here scrolling through videos. Those content creators just put up clips. Ain't nobody actually live really. And if somebody is live, they're not going to actually give you attention. So this is why y'all happen to come here, because you know that chances are, I might oblige, I might give you a little bit of attention, depending on what it is. But like I said before, if you actually don't like the platform, then you could very easily create your own. That's crazy. It's diabolical work. Simon said gold is going to hit 10K an ounce pretty soon. I haven't checked the price of gold in a minute. Yeah, I believe it. Yeah, gold is currently $3,413.40. Yeah, it's going to be like that. And the funniest thing, referencing Salmon, is the fact that I used to earlier on the platform, I would talk about the prices of precious metals. Talk about coins, talk about stocks, and I would do some stuff, here and there. And I haven't checked this stuff in a minute. Like I remember when gold was way cheaper. And that was during the time of, I want to say it should have been during the time of during the time of the pandemic. A lot of things were very, very cheap. And the reason why stuff was cheap is because nobody was buying, because you had this whole fear driven society. And the interesting thing directly about that fear driven society is that during that time, I literally at that moment, in the crux, in the middle of that time, I specifically told people, don't feed into the fear. You have to be aware of what's going on. Because the main thing I try to tell a lot of people is that, the moment in time that the world or governments are trying to put you into a mindset of fear and keep you there, keep you like boxed in and caved in, they're out and about moving. So a lot of these businesses, they didn't stop. A lot of these hedge funds, they didn't stop. A lot of these rich people, they didn't stop. Everybody was investing and they were snatching up any and everything because they got all of the ordinary and basic people directly away from it, so that they can come in like the scavengers that they are and pick directly what they can see off of the ground level and maybe dig a little bit deeper, right? So now we're looking at a point in time where things are a little bit slightly out of reach for a lot of ordinary people. Like 3,000. Let me go back to the price of gold, right? $3,413. That's not in reach for a lot of people. Like no, an average person, I'm talking about an average person, is not going to sit up there and drop that just for a little piece of gold. Like you got rent. Some people's rent is like 2K already. So you're not going to be able to drop three directly on just trying to buy, some little pieces of whatnot. So, like I said, everything was done directly on purpose. And I literally try to tell people, right? And I was speaking to everybody, anybody who would just sit up there and listen. I'm literally trying to sit up there and tell this to speak to everybody. But it'd be like that. Just like you see a lot of these trolls that pull up to the scene that want to write all of this nonsense, in the comment section. Like I said, some of these dummies would never actually pay attention and listen. When actual information, important information, is being given directly out, they wouldn't sit up there and listen, nor would they show up for any type of content or live stream like that. But they always got time to pull up to this, right? So, like I said, it's crazy. It is it's diabolical work. Diabolical work. Let me see. What else do we got? Like I said, y'all dummies. Y'all are some straight dumb. Like, this is the funniest thing. When black people, I want people to just pay attention. When black people actually focus in on themselves and you're just talking, this is when everybody wants to have an opinion. There's a field of white content creators who I've watched, and I've literally seen them cry about the government. White people, this is the funny thing. White people always want to talk about black people crying about something. White people cry the most when it deals with the government. It don't matter what election it is. It don't matter what government official. It don't matter the laws, the rules, and regulate. White people are always crying about something. Like this economy. White people are out here crying. I done seen hundreds of thousands. We potentially even got millions of videos out there all over social media, primarily of white people crying about the economy, not being able to afford this, not being able to afford that. Y'all literally making train videos, trying to get other people to show you around the world how much eggs and everything else like that is. This is y'all doing that. Black people, we're just doing what it is that we've normally sat up there and done, which is just surviving from day to day, because this is just every day. This is just a Tuesday for us. The economy crashed. This is a Tuesday. Stuff can't be afforded. That's just a Friday. Things look like it's going a little bit back up. That's a Wednesday. Like I said, this is normal. Y'all out here sitting up there losing your minds, but yeah, didn't y'all go through like the Dust Bowl, the Great Depression, all these, the recessions? Y'all literally went through all of these things, and y'all are still losing your minds, even though historically these things have just happened. And you guys realistically are in control of the government. Crazy work though. But like I said, it's you want to have the narrative that, the blacks are just complaining everywhere, all across social media. What social media are you watching? It seems to me that you're specifically picking this type of social media. It seems to me it's a skill issue where you decided to fixate your algorithm on what it is that you focus in and fixate on the most, which is black people. Because, like I said before, I don't know that any of y'all exist up until you actually come forth. And I didn't sit up there and call you 3 times like Candyman. I ain't do that. But yet you're here. Uninvited guest. As always. Like to every other continent, this is how you show up. Ain't nobody worried or really focused on you, but yet here you are. Like I said, I'm talking about the government. You would think that the government would show up in my comment section. That ain't what happening. I'm specifically talking about the reparations in the government. They come up out of nowhere. This and that and all. It's crazy work. It's crazy work. Diabolical. Let me see. D, what is up? What is up? What is up? What is going on? What is going on? Much love, respect, and appreciation. Let me see. Bro, that picture is crazy work. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And anytime I happen to see a comment, oh, you came back? No problem. You said stop black on everyone crime. I mean, I don't feel like pulling up the stats anymore. I've done this enough times, with the foolishness. Let's just say it like this. Let's stop white historical crime. Let's stop that. Let's stop the white historical crime, and let's stop the European, the Caucasian European crime. Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's stop both of those groups who are family. Let's stop them from going all over the world, making brand new laws and regulations, trying to exterminate the indigenous people there and lay claim to the land, and then try to say that they are the indigenous people. Let's stop them from causing wars and chaos. Because if I'm going to be honest, if I'm going to be realistic with all of you guys here, let's just get one thing very clear. If a nuclear war ever happens, it's not going to be because Black Americans are not going to be the one to put everybody, this whole planet, into a nuclear winter. That's going to pretty much destroy everybody with radiation. It's not going to be us. It's not going to be us. So, like I said, y'all want to pull up here to the scene and y'all want to be gloating this and gloating that. But every single time y'all talk, I'm looking online and there is always hints and talks talking about the doomsday clock is close to 12 and how we're close to World War III. I didn't see anything mentioning Black Americans causing this to happen. Like I said before, whenever it is that you guys are bored, y'all cause war. Y'all don't know nothing else to do. Y'all got all the money in the world, and all y'all want to do is buy some big toys, dangerous toys, and y'all want to sit up there. Oh, my stick is bigger than yours, and my God is greater than yours. Oh, what? I'm going to sit up there and bomb your lands. That's all y'all want to do. Y'all can't even just have normal discourse. Y'all can't even just have normal conversations. Y'all can't even just human to be human. That's crazy work. But y'all want to come up here and y'all want to try to dictate to Black people, oh, stop this crime and stop this and stop that. I've never committed a crime against an African. Never committed a crime against an Australian. Never committed a crime against an American white. Never committed a crime against a European or an Asian or whatnot or whatever. So like I said before, it's crazy when y'all want to come up here and y'all want to, super generalize when you talk about crimes being committed. When you guys literally fly all around the world. Like I said, the Catholic Church, that's it. That's all I need to say. and there's all Caucasian men that run the Catholic Church. Crazy work. Just like the Boy Scouts. That's your guys. That's your man's. How didn't you know? He was just with you yesterday. And y'all got the most attacks directly when it deals with the families. Directly out there. Y'all the main ones when it deals with a lot of these teachers working in these schools, going directly after the students. Crazy work. But y'all supposed to be protectors though. But y'all always want to flip it and, oh, look at what Black people are doing. Oh, look at this and read these stories. It's not just a race thing. It's in everybody. No, we're being real specific right now. Like I said, your numbers are in the rafters. When I looked and went directly over the FBI charts, I marked at least 3 to 4 things that Black people have by numbers, by far. And I was like, yo, we got those. We holding up 4 L's at this moment in time, no problem. But you know who was coming around the pass? Yo, dumbass. Name is on the boards. Name is on the rafters. Sitting high. I'm talking about in a 90 percentile when it dealt with every single listing directly up there. Your numbers were up there. Crazy work. But here you are. You want to, talk all of this type of nonsense when it deals with black folks. Crazy. Diabolical. Crazy work. Like I said, y'all got the nerve to be sitting up there. This is the crazy part. For anybody white in the comment section that want to pull up to the scene and say something to a black content creator, it's crazy that you got this much energy dealing with me or the black community, but you don't have as much energy with the sun. Explain that to me. Explain that to me. Explain to me why I got so much animosity and so much to say when it deals with black Americans, but this is what the sun is doing to you. And y'all never show that same energy back. Why is that? I mean, I'm sorry. The only person that's showing that much energy is Bill Gates when he's trying to block out the sun because he said that the earth needs to cool down so that you guys can survive. Right. And I went directly over that story, but it'd be like that. But y'all the same ones that sit up and say that chemtrails and all this other type of stuff, it don't exist. It's not real. Crazy work though. But y'all got it. Y'all got it though. You got it, baby. You got it. You got it. Crazy work. Looking like fiends out here. See what else we got? Let me see what else we got. Ms. Anderson said, it looks painful. Carl said, Seji, please change the picture. No, as long as I still got clowns pulling up to the section, wanted to say some nonsense. Like I said, yo, it's crazy. We got another troll directly in there. Let's see what else we got. You said, how do y'all still, we're in 2025 and y'all talking about Barack Obama? Dude, like, what are we even doing here? Like, y'all the same ones that got an obsession with like George Floyd. Like what is going on? And then y'all still online mentioning BLM. We're in 2025. Like, what are y'all doing? Like, y'all stay and y'all talk about black people staying in the past. Lord have mercy. Jesus. Carl said they look like they're trying to do KO Ken ×3. Oh yeah, they powering up. They trying to go for that Kamehameha. Hold on, how am I racist? Explain that to me, Morgan. Let me. Oh, Morgana, because I know a lot of y'all are wizards, sorceress. Y'all like to practice all of that wizardry, all of that magic, that Harry Potter stuff. I'm just going to refer to as Morgana. Explain to me, how am I racist? If I'm racist, then that means that the sun is racist, right? Because factually speaking, the sun nurtures everything on this planet. It gives life to everything on this planet, except here. I don't see no type of absorption of the sunlight. I don't see no type of dispersing in the skin. I don't really see an adaptation taking place, right? I don't see an adaptation. This is why certain people are better in colder climates. Other people are better in heat. But even still with that, you got black people that can survive directly in colder climates. We'll just, our melanin will go, directly back. It'll just be in hibernation up until it's actually needed. See how that works? See how that adaptation actually works? How the universe gave us that, right? But when it deals with other people, like I said, I don't know what happened. But like I said, you said I was racist, though, That's crazy. That's crazy. Somebody said the Catholic Church does not represent white people. Who is the? I gotta sound like an owl because that's how dark it is out here. I gotta make sure these echoes get get directly out there to those who need to hear it. Who's the main representative? Who are the faces of the Catholic Church? It's not black Americans. It ain't even black people. just saying. But I got you. You said it's not indicative of white people. But when I think about America and I think about the Catholic Church and what it's done, also including the Boy Scouts, it's crazy But like I said, y'all don't like to touch those stories, no pun intended, for obvious reasons, because it makes you look bad as a group. That you guys know that this is happening, this is going on right under your noses. You can clearly see it. You've gotten whispers and words. Like I said, there are guys that have been talking about this since the 70s. And for whatever reason, you guys don't want to shut all of this nonsense down. You allow it to happen. I mean, I can go to Christian churches as well, too. Either which way it goes, when it deals with religion, this is what you guys like to do. But, it'd be like that. But you got it, though. You got it. Let me see what else we got. You said whites are 65% of the population. Okay, that's great. Realistically, by the way that y'all say it, realistically, y'all shouldn't be committing no crimes because you guys are the most sensible, intelligent, high IQ people out there, right? So as high IQ people directly out there, y'all shouldn't be committing no crimes because you know better, right? So then why would high IQ whites be committing crime? Because the white race in general, as you guys like to say, are high IQ, right? Highly intelligent, highly advanced civilization, right? But yet you guys are still out there committing crimes. Crazy, diabolical work. You would actually think that somebody with such genius, such as yours, would actually know better. But obviously not. But then y'all are also the same people that lost the, telemetry on how it is to get directly to the moon. Crazy work. And I showed you guys that video before where you got a dude that works directly at NASA that said that they lost. They lost the calculations on how to sit up there and get to the moon. Wow. That's crazy. High IQ people, though. Y'all got it. Let me see. You're just a tiny channel chock full of cynical sadness and arrogance, misplaced self-pride. Weak man you are. That's crazy. That is diabolical work. No problem. No problem. I can stay directly being a tiny channel, as you stated. It's tiny enough where it still got your attention at the end of the day. Right? Crazy work. Uh-oh, somebody got angry. Somebody's like, hey, I'm going to sit up there and report you. That's crazy work. It's crazy work. Diabolical. Again, this is what tends to happen, irregardless of the information, irregardless on what gets talked about directly on the platform. People happen to get mad. People want to sit up there and report. I gave you what was it? I gave you guys a live stream. What was it, about 6 days ago? Almost close to a week. And even within that conversation, which was vastly different, mind you, like I said, people want to come through and troll me. I'm going to clearly do the exact same thing back, right? Tit for tat. But obviously, when it gets a little bit too hot in the kitchen, people, don't like what's happening, right? People now want to sit up there and play victim. This is how I want everybody to understand. This is how they play victim, right? So when they come into the comment section and they troll and they want to say this, that, and the third, it's all good, right? But now when the rabbit is doing it, now people want to be victims. And this is the same thing that they like to say about Black Americans. Oh, why are you guys always, being victims and da-da-da? Look at you guys being victims. You're like, oh, I don't like what he's sitting up here saying to me. Oh, he's being so mean and da-da-da-da. Irregardless of the comments that I happen to get. Irregardless of the stereotypes, irregardless of the racism, even if it's obvious or if it's hidden, whatever it is, right? Irregardless of any of that stuff, again, in the comment section, oh, I'm about to report. Ah. That's crazy. It's diabolical in nature. Diabolical in nature. I got you. But because you're just going to keep spamming this directly, you already did what it is that you did, no problem. So we're just going to get you up out of here. So you got highlighted. You got showcased. No problem, right? Let me see. What else do we have here? Brother would love to have himself a Caroline Levitt, but never will. I don't even know who that is. You said I didn't see Iron Man 3? No, I saw Iron Man 3. I saw Iron Man 3. Somebody said, hello, is this about is this about what the sun does to your body? No, it's not. This is me getting back at trolls who like to, pull up to the scene and they want to just so happen to, either write some racist, derogatory, or whatnot, whatever comments directly into the comment section. And, they want to speak to a black content creator a certain type of way. So I am kindly obliging, show off certain comments there, and I associate this picture, right? So again, if what's good for the goose is good for the gander, right? So if people want to troll, I'm going to sit up and do the exact same thing back. But, it seems that some people, don't like it. And people want to sit up there and get mad. That's crazy work. That is diabolical work. Let me see. I'm trying to make sure I catch up. I'm just looking through the chat here. Even though the history, 60% of the world population, they don't have a number. When they say they're going to Mars, they're actually going to Devon Island. Somebody said bro's just racist, but he thinks he can't be because he's black. This is my main thing, right? If you feel that any of my rebuttals that I give, this is the thing I love, right? Like I said before, if I happen as a black content creator, I'll make a rebuttal towards other people that want to troll and be racist or whatnot or whatever. No problem. No problem. Like I said, somebody like what is this, Khalib? Like I said, they will actually see what is being written in the comment section or the things that I'll actually highlight or respond to, and they won't have a problem with that. Right? They don't want to shut that down. They don't want to have a problem with that. They don't want to highlight that as being problematic, right? They're not trying to report those trolls, those racists, whatnot, or whatever. But if I respond as a black content creator, magically I'm the one that's being racist. Like I said, if I have to be the villain, so be it. I am comfortable directly in my seat. I just want people to know that. I'm letting that be directly acknowledged. So you want to call me racist? Whatever. I have no problem with that. I'm not going to sit up there and refute you. It is what it is. That is your dream. That is your fantasy. That is the reality of what you want to live in. No problem. No problem. Even though I clearly explain what it is that I'm doing, but it'd be like that. Let me see. What else do we got? African Americans reporting channels for their opinion. Yeah, that's a good point. Let me just do it like this. Let me give you just the clear cut highlight. Truly Israel said this very, very beautiful and smart comment. Said, why would you report somebody for their opinion? You don't see no African Americans or Black Americans reporting channels for their opinions, which is true. There's a lot of white channels that I highly disagree with, that I don't like, but it's their platform. They got their space to basically speak. I don't have to be there because I know that the content is specifically not for me. The problem is that you have a lot of these people that want to come directly through and they want to find a problem. They want to see an issue, or better yet, they want to cause an issue so that they can have a reason or justification for their actions. Right? So what happens normally on this channel is if I don't give them attention, first of all, let me just get this very clear and straight. A lot of them that pull up here, they're already sitting up there reporting the channel. They've been doing it. They'll just do it in silence, right? At least they do it in silence and they're not saying nothing. Like I said, cool. The other ones they want to highlight, be like, oh, I'm reporting you as if I'm supposed to, sit up there and beg or whatnot, whatever. You're along with the other groups directly out there that decide to do the exact same thing. But yet, when there are actual racist platforms out there, when there are people putting horrendous and crazy content directly out on social media, y'all not talking about trying to report that and get rid of it. Like I said, people want to create a narrative and they want to be fixated on that narrative and they want to, in a sense, try to prove that narrative right. So they will do anything possible, in order to do that, even if it means trying to find some way to enable themselves to be offended so that they can be justified in said actions. Like I said, it's crazy. There's tons of white content creators directly out here that they can venture and look at or watch videos of. They opt not to do that. They opt to come directly here to be offended on purpose. Never seen that before in my life. Never seen it before in my life. Crazy work. Crazy work. Wait, Miss Anderson, why you say my bad? Yo, the Jomo, what is up? What is up? What is up? What's up? You said, can I take a song request? No, we cannot do song requests. That is copyrighted music. Copyrighted music. But away from the trolls, we do have another video, and this is basically driving while black.
So I'm getting pulled.
Right? So let me just get the comment down. So this is basically driving while black. So let me just preface this. So what the black guy ended up doing, and I think, did my mom do that before? I think she did do that before. Because I'm just gonna be real. I don't care about anybody else. I'm just gonna say it like this. Black people tend to get stopped and pulled over by police more than a lot of other groups directly out here. I'm just talking about historically speaking. This is just the way that the government and the systems, in a sense, work. Black people are the most vocal when it deals with the police, the government, and everything else. Everybody else just lets stuff slide by. They're like, if it never happened to me, it doesn't apply to me. That, whole type of deal. So what this gentleman decided to do is that he saw the police following behind him very tightly, and he was like, all right, I've been pulled over before. I know you're just going to pull me over anyway, so let me just get directly over, have my license, registration, and all that stuff basically set, right? And now we're going to see what the cop basically told him and why, again, this makes no sense. And this is the type of exhaustion that Black Americans have been talking about in the United States, because stuff like this is not going to make sense.
Pulled over for pulling over?
It's suspicious activity, yeah, man.
Okay. You want just my license or my insurance or my
Your vehicle
registration?
information as well.
Okay, that's everything.
So, do you normally just pull over immediately when a cop gets behind you?
It's easier than just having them find a reason to pull me over. Because if I would have like swerved or something, you'd have pulled me over. Then sobriety test, something like that. It's just easier to just get all this out the way because I probably was getting pulled over for something anyway. I don't care.
Why did you anticipate getting pulled over?
Because I get pulled over. I've been pulled over before. So if you could just run my information, if I get it, if being suspicious is a crime, then I guess I'll commit a crime.
Not necessarily a crime. It's just when the actions you took take place in front of law enforcement, then it just raises our concern. You know what I'm saying?
All good.
Yeah. All right. Well, let me check some things out, man, and I'll try to get you out of here quick. All right.
Take your time, man.
Okay, I'm gonna step right back here in front of my car. Like I said, you're not in any trouble, man. So listen, all I'm waiting on is my dispatch to get back with me and make sure you ain't got no warrants or anything, and I'm gonna get you out of here, man. But so
Sounds good.
in my line of work, man, when I get behind somebody and they make an immediate turn and I follow them and then they turn their hazards on and turn into a closed business, it automatically makes me think that you're involved in criminal activity. It's behavior of people who are trying to separate themselves from law enforcement so they don't have to even deal with us.
Or hear me out.
Yeah.
Maybe it's because I've been pulled over enough times to know that when a cop comes from a business and speeds and gets behind me, I'm going to get pulled over for something. You know what I'm saying?
Not all the time. I mean,
not all the time, but not all the time. It's a criminal activity. I'm not doing anything criminal because I'm going this way anyway. Yeah. But you got a right on me, so I pulled over.
Yeah.
It's no big deal.
Totally understand what you're saying, man. And I'm not saying that you necessarily did anything criminal, but it raises my suspicions enough that I can get out with you and investigate to ensure criminal activity is not taking place.
I'm gonna get my hand on my pocket.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's all good. I just got off work. I got my non-slips on. Yeah. I'm not doing anything. Yeah. So once everything comes back.
Yeah, everything's clean with your car, man. Your license is good. It doesn't look like you've been in trouble in the past.
I don't get in trouble anymore, man.
At this point, I have no reason to believe you're involved in criminal activity, but I was just trying to explain to you the reason that I got out with you was to investigate because your actions led me to believe that you might be involved in criminal activity. Does that make sense?
No.
It doesn't?
It's life, you know what I mean? One way or another, it's all going to go away. I don't have no warrants.
Yeah, no, you're good, man.
I know, I don't got no warrants. My paperwork
license you gave me. I appreciate.
Right, so we all heard that, right? We all directly heard specifically what took place, and again, it didn't make no type of sense at all. No type of sense at all. Like, so you're gonna sit up there and tell this dude that, all right, we feel as though that you were doing something illegal or that you are running from whatnot or whatever, and it's a little bit odd that you decided to stop even though I was behind you. He already knew what you were going to do. He already knew. Black people are used to this. We're just going to be like, all right, let's just get this over with. License, registration, just hand me my ticket. Whatever you want to say is whatever you're going to say, whatever, and just let me go on about my day. Like I said, they like wasting black people's time. That's directly what it is. They like sitting up there wasting black people's time. Like that. Jesus Christ. Like I said, this is what we happen to talk about when we are tired. When we are 100% tired of all of these things going directly on, when it deals with this, like I said, nobody can sit up there and tell me anything different. Nobody can tell me anything different at all. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Let me see. Trying to sit up there and get this. Hmm. I'm trying to make sure I find the right one. I'm going to have to actually go back probably to fix it. Because I was trying to figure out, because I got to sit up here and try to fix this. I think I know what happened. Ms. Anderson probably hit the wrong button and missed real quick. So I got to try to fix that real quick. If I can find Gail's name. Let me see. I gotta go to channel real quick. Do that. Got that. Okay, so now that I got that, let me see, where is, do that, go back here, and yeah, my bad. I gotta try to fix this real quick. I think I gotta go to moderation. Okay, should save. Let me just make sure. Let me go back. Let me click moderation. Gail, try to type. Let me see. I'm trying to find a name now. Because this is pink. I'm not sure why it's not add as approved user. Let me see. Now I got to try to. It's going to take me a little bit of time trying to just make sure. So my apologies. I'm not reading y'all comments right now. I'm just trying to get this sorted and fixed, even though I'm not sure if it's actually doing what I need it to do. Because I don't think it's actually yeah, for whatever reason, her name is not Yeah, usually if the person's name is typed directly in there, it should pull up. And I'm not seeing her name actually show up, which is crazy. Let me see what. I'm probably gonna have to fix this later. I don't know. And then on top of that, I don't think I can even go back through the comments and even do it. Let me see participants. All right, so we got Mo and everybody else over there. Because I know on the other channel, Gail should be fine. So let me see. You got to click on a live. Go here. And community moderation activity. Wait, what does that do? I'm not even sure. Reactions on. So this is the other one here. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna have to figure this out. I'm going to have to figure that out. All right, let me go back to the comments here. My bad. Just trying to get this fixed. Somebody said inherently racist content. I guess. Somebody said gotta go cook. Okay, I got you. DeJumbo said all you have to say is, "Am I being detained?" Somebody say he gave him a reason. No, he didn't. Carl says, so this cop is suspicious because he pulled over when we know that the cop was following him. Yeah, that's crazy. Yo, DSB, what is up? Much love, respect, and appreciation. What is up? Most said a suspicion, a misdemeanor, or a felony. I don't even know. You said Gail is still in here? Okay. Oh, okay. Gail is okay. She's still here. He says Sham is okay. Oh yeah, maybe you didn't actually hit Gail because I was trying to sit up there and look and I couldn't sit up there and find her. Somebody said pretty bad example of harassment. I mean, the cop wasn't even disrespectful, and if I was a cop that had no intention of pulling that man over and he pulled over, I'd ask if he needed help. That the point of us basically bringing this directly up is to show the fact that this is what Black people have to sit up there and deal with. It's not suspicious that he pulled over. He stated that he's used to being pulled over. During high school, me and one of my friends that were always driving to and from school, like he lived directly in the same community as a school. So we're sitting up there driving. I can't even count to you how many times that we got pulled over. And I'm like, you have to be kidding. Like y'all just literally pulled us over just about like an hour or so ago, and y'all pulling us over again. I'm like, y'all don't got nothing else better to do. All of these other cars coming directly through. Y'all like, oh, I see 2 young Black guys. Let me sit up there and go see what they're doing. Really? Like I said, this is like even with me, this is something that I have literally witnessed and had happen. I've had this happen directly to my mom and had this happen to friends as well. Many different types of occurrences dealing with police, and it makes no sense. Like I said, in certain instances, they would literally stop you a block after, which makes no sense. It was like, all right, y'all just got us on that other block. Y'all told us about the tail light, whatnot, whatever. Okay, now we're about to get on the freeway. Y'all come sitting up there flicking the lights again. So now we got to pull over. And now the driver has to explain, like, yo, y'all just a block down. Y'all just literally already pulled us over. Like, how did y'all not know this? Y'all didn't listen to the radio. Like, why are y'all still doing the exact same? Like, this don't make no sense. Like I said, This is how cops specifically act when it deals with black people. This is why this is being shown. For black people, this would be considered harassment because we already know what's up. You're just waiting. You're just looking for a reason. If the cop wasn't already trying to pull him over, he would have just already went past this dude. I've seen cops do it all the time, but he stayed behind him because he was looking for a reason. He was already contemplating something. You know, like I said, it's crazy. Diabolical work. Let me see. Brandon V. World. Oh, you must have just like timed out, Gail. I got you. Brandon V. World said Texas Republicans just passed a law banning all anime, and these mofos are evil. LOL. Looks like I got to activate a VPN. Shout out to Brandon V. World for the $5 dono. Also, my condolences to anybody that lives in Texas, especially the Black American anime fans, manga fans that live in Texas. Like I said, I don't know what to tell people. You know, this is the way. Now, this is the way I'll sit up there and put it to you, brother. It's funny how they want to pass a law trying to ban that, but there's other contents online that they should be trying to, like a certain hub, directly out there, or other sites. It's amazing how they're not trying to pass laws banning that though. Crazy work on that. They want to pass all of these laws and these rules on anime, but when it deals with other stuff that is actually detrimental. Like, what's detrimental about anime? What, I'm going to try to go outside and do a Kamehameha? I'm going to try to do a Kaioken and power up. I'm going to try to go Super Saiyan. I'm going to try to do a Rasengan. I'm going to try to do the Kakashi hand signs. Like, what are we even doing out here? What are we doing out here? There's tons of other content that they should actually be worried about and trying to get directly off of the internet, but they focus on anime. Crazy work. Diabolical. Sham said, what? Why anime? Man, I'm so glad I don't live in Texas. Wait a minute. Isn't that against the Constitution? D Money said, seriously? Yep. Sham said, banning anime is unconstitutional. It goes against freedom of expression. You can't ban anime. These people are out of control. D Money said, first corn and now anime. Just can't win. Brandon Buell said they already tried to ban the hub. I mean, it's more than just the hub directly. I could list stuff, but that's gonna, out here make me look crazy. It's like, yo, Seiji, how you know about all these places? Because I'm a guy. What do you want me to sit up there and say? I'm a guy. It'd be like that. Brandon World came through with another $5 dono. Said, yeah, you can't have THC now, and now no anime. It's time to move. Yeah, like I said, they're doing too much. They're doing way too much. I'm waiting for, this is the one thing I want to sit up there and see these lawmakers do. I'm waiting for them to sit up there and say that they're going to start banning video games. Oh, I'm trying to tell people, if they're going this far in this anime, it's only a matter of time before they're like, all right, we're banning video games and we're banning games. I promise you. I don't know who's going to do it, but I know somebody's going to be the first one to try. If they haven't already tried it, somebody's going to be the first one to try this. I promise you. Oh, that is going to be hilarious. Oh my God. It is going to be hilarious. That would be the stupid. Let me tell you something. If a lot of these people of older generations think that the younger generation ain't really serious about nothing, or they're not going to move or whatnot, let this government try to sit up there and enlist or enact a law that talks about that they're about to ban video games. Let me let y'all know something. That'll be the worst thing that you could ever try to do in your life. Because the main demographic that you are trying to take something from at this moment in time is going to be the exact same demographic that has to deal with your health care. They're going to be working in these healthcare and these insurance companies, these car insurance companies. They're going to be the main ones working at these banks saying if you can get a loan, yay or nay. They're going to be the same ones working in these medical hospitals when a lot of y'all are in hospice, when a lot of you guys are elderly walking with canes. So, like I said before, people can play all these stupid games if they want to, but there is going to be a severe fallout. There's going to be a very severe fallout. Let me tell you something. Like I said, I'm waiting for it. It's only a matter of time. I'm waiting, and it's going to be a conservative. It's going to be a Christian, somebody highly religious that is going to try to do this, and they're going to list biblical reasons on why video games needs to be banned, and this, that, and the third. Like I said, y'all gonna find out. Y'all are gonna find out real quick. Crazy. D Money said they waiting for that GTA 6 to drop before they try. I mean, yeah, they tried to do that with GTA. They just went bad. They didn't think that was going to make people want to play the game even more. Like I said, why would you ban something? Now you're just really highlighting it, and now everybody's in a FOMO stage where it's like, oh man, I don't want to miss out. Like I don't even know what it's about. I never even played this. Now I'm really going to crazy. Diabolical work, and they learned from that point on to not do that. And that was why that was the last time that you saw them do any foolishness like that. Crazy. Hack said the Texan law on anime is going after anime that is really lolicon. The gray area on the law is it would hurt like Akira, because if you remember, Akira had that one sus part. Yeah. I mean, a lot of animes have, parts like that directly within them. But the craziest part is I've seen American television shows that are not black that have had similar things or conversations. And I'm like, so you're going after this, but yet y'all got this in just media, just in general, even in movies. I've seen things like that. But like I said, hey, they want to go after anime. Anime is the worst thing, right? It is the worst thing. Sham said, does that mean that they're banning Sword Art Online as a video game as well? Yo, I don't know. I don't know. I know I have Sword Art Online. I know I do have that. I did see. I forgot. I think it was Ty. I did see your comment in there. Ty was trying to fix stuff in the background. You had asked if I was getting Elden Ring, the new one. I'll probably get a little bit, later, because I'm, trying to deal with some family stuff, in the background. So I'm like, I'm more so just, trying to put resources and everything directly into that. And again, it's the same thing. I even went on about, during dealing with the live stream and, stuff of that nature. Yeah, I'll get it. More than likely, it's going to be on the Xbox, because I'm not trying to deal with the severe heat coming directly off of the PC trying to play, Elden Ring. Because the PC be revving up, be a nice, 70 something degrees, directly in there. If it was the wintertime, that'd be fine, but we're in summer. So it's like, yeah, that's not good. So I'd rather have heat getting thrown off from the Xbox and, do it that way and whatnot. Oh yeah, Sham. I forgot. Yeah, Sham doesn't know what that means. Yeah. Sham is a very innocent soul. Sham is a very, very innocent soul. I forgot. I got to keep reminding myself every single day. Let me see. Brandon V. World said people are going to be forgot to highlight that. You said people are going to be selling GTA 6 like drugs on the street. Yeah, that's facts. Well, if they got the physical copy, yeah. Oh, dude, speaking of video games, this is just a side note. If anybody ended up getting the Switch too early, it's not bricked, but it's not online. They will not allow you to go online at all. And I'm like, yo, I need Nintendo to relax. I need them to sit up there and relax. I need them to relax. Like, yo, I love, Japan and all that. Y'all got to really relax on this, because I like, brother, like, what are we doing? Like, you just, this is why, in a sense, I do happen to like having an Xbox and stuff like that, because I don't got to worry about that. Because that, well, at least at this moment, because that's crazy to me. You just end up getting the system like early ahead of time, and you want to go online and try to check some stuff out, and they're like, nope, can't do it, brother. That's crazy. Sham said, what about that one game show Family Feud? What to do? Oh yeah, I showed off that video where the host was kissing everybody, including the teenage girls, sometimes on the lips. Crazy work. But a lot of these trolls and whatnot, they don't want to talk about that stuff. They're like, oh, that was so long ago and all this. That was harmless. I'm like, okay. I already know the type of time y'all be on. Kit Kat said I predicted a lot of people won't exist and in the family because their basement living sons can't handle the real world. That's facts. That's facts. Seji said, Gail was like, you don't want the heathen. Always Gail, every time. Every time. Can't take Gail nowhere. Hack said until June 5th for the Nintendo Switch. I guess so. I guess they're waiting directly for that whole thing, which is crazy. Diabolical. You said the Nintendo Mafia don't play. That's true. That's true. Brandon V World said Nintendo's like you played yourself. That's facts. Ben said if they would ban some things on the internet that would get a lot of people to get out and interact with people in person. Yeah. Anime is not one of those things. Anime is not one of those things. But again, you got some people that are like introverts, some people that might be recluses, where they're not like social butterflies or different things like that. And I respect that. I have no problem with that. I can do, either or. It's technically it's whatever. But like I said, doing a whole, partying and different stuff like that, mentally it's draining. Right, just the whole scenario and situation, and being a guy, you got to be aware of a lot of things. Like I said, just even potentially bumping into somebody, like their shoe or just a person. That's the whole thing that you got to sit up there and manage, and then you got to try to figure out like, yo, do they feel a certain type of way, even though you apologize, directly to them? Because I did that by mistake at a party. Like we're sitting up there walking, and I made a mistake and just bumped into somebody, and I just like let them know, like, hey, my bad. It's like, didn't mean nothing by it or whatnot. Like I was trying to calm down, whatever, before anything was even a potential. Like I said, it's too much to even monitor. And then outside of that, you got to try to worry about other people and if they might have problems with other people. Like I said, it's too much. It's a lot. It's a lot. Goda said, black people learn how to hit a target at 1,000 yards. Sham sitting up there laughing at Gail. Yeah, that's Gail every live stream. That's every day. That is every day. Hack said, silly question with the XP stuff on this channel. That's basically like some like leaderboard type of thing that they just implemented on YouTube. So people who happen to comment, well, at least when it deals with the other channel, people who happen to comment, you'll see an XP marker directly above your name. Gail is in number 1 at this moment in time. When it deals with like the leaderboards. So let me show y'all what it basically looks like on my end real quick. Let me just show y'all that. We're technically off topic at this moment in time, which is cool. Let me put this directly up. Image file. Right. So this is what the leaderboard. Oh, I gotta take Outlaw's comment down. So you can't even see Gail's name. That's crazy. Yeah. So this is basically Gail is at the top. You can't really see it because the banner is blocking it. I wish I could if they could switch it so that you can move the banner around, that'd be great. That'd be the most awesome update that they can do. They also got an update on here where I can showcase the comments, but I can only do that if I put it to a different mode instead of vertical. Then I can showcase, comments directly on a live stream and stuff like that. I may mess around with that on a different live stream at a point in time, but yeah. This is basically the leaderboard. Actually, I'm incorrect. Gail was at number 1 at a moment in time. Let me see who was at the top. Kit Kat is actually number 1 at this moment in time. Got 175 XP. Uh, so this is how they explain it, right? Community leaderboards and XP. They said, what's the leaderboard? They said a place for fans to stand out in the community. The top 3 get special badges and live chats. It resets every stream, so you can try again. How do you get on leaderboard? You'll need to collect experience points or XP by either sending live chat messages or sending super chats and super stickers. So that's basically how that works. That was an update that they made, directly there. And now at this moment in time, because remember I gave you guys a still, so now at this moment in time, you got Miss Anderson. You know what? I think I got you on the next live stream. What I will do is that I'll make sure to have another window. I'll have it open in a sense so that I could have a window open. So I repeated myself twice, but anyways, I have a capture so that you guys can see the leaderboards as they move, directly on the channel and and everything like that. So I'll do something like that. Let me go back up. Let me see. They didn't ban Elvis or that other singer, the one that sings "Great Balls of Fire." Yeah, that's true. They did not do that. That is true. That is true. Hack said that is neat. Oh, D Money said important question is, do we win anything for having the most XP? Nah, no, not at the moment. Not at the moment. Potentially, if things happen to go better with the channel, some things can be implemented. We could, we can do some stuff, directly with that. Of course, trolls don't count because you'll have trolls that'll roll up in here trying to spam and do this, that, and the third. Yeah, it's like, yeah, we're not counting trolls. Like we'll probably do it in a certain way. I got it already written down in my mind, but I'll just wait until that day of to implement that, because I ain't trying to have people trying to, oh, let me just sit up there and play nice so I can try to win whatever. Nah, slick. You gotta catch a lot of these people before you gotta be 50 moves ahead. So yeah. Yep. Yo, what is up, Sonny? What is going on? What is going on? What is going on? Liam said, how is everyone? Everyone is pretty good. Everyone is pretty good. D Money said winner gets 10% and lunch on Seiji. Yeah, hey, he said you don't got no money, man. Let me tell you. Let me tell you. Let me tell you. Kick-Ass said trolls do win the DA award though. Yeah, they do. They do. You got Miss Anderson up there laughing. Of course. Golden Brown said they never go after the wealthy white people. That is the rule of thumb for American citizens. You said who? I don't know who that is. You said somebody by the name of. Wait, let me check. Hold on, because I ain't trying to sit up there and give a shout out if that's not specifically what happened. Let me try to go back to Sir Jacob. Where specifically did that person donate to? I'm just trying. I'm trying to check everywhere at this moment in time. Let me see. Oh, okay. Yeah, because I'm sitting up there looking because I'm like, oh, maybe I might have missed a shout out. They might have donated somewhere else. I'm like, all right, let me shout them out real quick. That threw me off. But yeah, I got you. Dave Chappelle joke. By commenting during the time of a live stream, Gail said it's a live SEIJI. No, I know. But yes. So now, let me see. Yeah, Miss Anderson got up there 175 XP. We got Kit Kat 175 and Gail with the 150. The 150 XP. Now we can go back to the videos real quick. So what was the next video? Let me see. So now I got this video here, and this is going to deal with something that I talked about before. So a couple of months ago, I gave you guys news in a live stream on how because of the tariffs and everything going to dispute price wars going on between China and America, America, China. At one point in time, China used to buy up a lot of beef from America, right? America, just imagine that. China, the large land that it is buying American beef and having it is, of course, is being frozen or whatnot or whatever, and is being shipped directly over to China, right? Or flown. I'm not sure how it works, whatever, right? So because of the dispute, because of the tariffs and all of these things going on between Trump and what was it, Xi Jinping, China's like, you know what? We're not buying any of your beef anymore. We're going to swap to Australia. So we're going to buy the Australian beef, right? So this is what this Chinese woman is going to explain.
Hello from China. So I'm in a grocery store right now, and I wanted to show you how the American tariffs are affecting Chinese customers. So I was gonna get some beef for dinner tonight, and I saw this. So what used to be here is American beef, but now, as you can see, it says Australian beef. And I did look around. I couldn't find one single pack of beef from America. So I guess China just stopped buying beef from America and it went straight to Australia. So the whole idea that China is hurting because of the American tariffs, well, they're not, because they're not as dependent on the US. In fact, only 18% of Chinese imports come from America. And for stuff like beef and soy, they can just go somewhere else easily. So I guess I'm having Australian beef for dinner tonight instead of American beef. And honestly, because of the food quality, I probably trust Australian beef better. And this box of beef right here is 50 RMB, which is about $7 US. So to answer the question, China ain't hurting. And if anything, I think we're probably doing even better because now that we are better beef that tastes better and at a better price. So thank you, Trump, for that.
Ooh, that's diabolical. That's so wait, let me get this straight. Let me get this straight, right? So China was originally buying beef from America, and their beef was probably, let's say it might have been running them, let's say like maybe like $10-12, right? Just to say, right? $10 to $12. So the tariff wars happen, and China's like, all right, no problem. We're going to stop importing your beef because you want to do all of this type of nonsense, right? Because we got this whole situation going on with money and tariffs and stuff. Cool, no problem. We're going to drop you. We're going to go directly with Australia. Not only did they do that, they said that the quality of the beef is better. Not only that, she also said that it's cheaper. Dear God. Dear God. Dear God. That's an L. I've never even had Australian beef. Never had it at all. But I know they have a lot of land directly out there, so I know that their cattle is pretty much, doing fine. Unlike when it deals with the American industry, when it deals with cattle and chickens, and I can only imagine, right? Instead of the cows being able to just herd around and just eat, normally, they're fed grains and all this other type of stuff directly in a stable where everybody is in close proximity and they're not able to move. Yeah, so I bet the beef is actually better. I bet it is actually better because the animals are probably actually getting treated better, right? They're actually living a free life instead of being caged. Lord, it's terrible. It's terrible. Gail says she looked like Tiger Woods and Tiger. That's crazy. That is crazy. Kit Kat says $7. Yeah, that's crazy. Because when you go out here in America, and let me just look at the price. Price of beef in America. Let's see here. So they said beef prices have been high for years, reaching record highs in recent months. Ground beef, for instance, reached a record high of $5.67 per pound in September, according to an April 2025 data. Ground beef was $5.80 per pound. I know it's higher than that. It is higher than I'm trying to find. Let me see what we got directly up here. I might actually have to look at a store real quick. Let's see. They got beef prices. What is that? Is that up to date? How old is this? Beef prices below. Oh, this is from like a meat catering company. Let me just look up a random market. Let me go to. Let me see. Let me just type in something random. What is this? A Stop and Shop? We're just gonna look at that real quick. Let's look at the meat section. No Diddy. So the meat on sale is currently we got $5.75, right? And that's for and that's supposed to be the sale. Wait, let me see if I can go to a larger section. Okay. Right. So let me just give this to y'all real quick. Went to a random market. Just typed in that Stop and Shop real quick. Like I said, random. And we're gonna put that directly up there. You might have to zoom in, probably turn the camera sideways. Shout out to The Rock. So that you can see what is being placed, right? So they got a sell on ground beef at Stop and Shop, all natural, 80% lean, 20% fat. That's $5.75. Originally, it was at $6.95. Basically, you might as well round that 95 to like 7 something once you include tax and whatnot. So normally this is $7+, the one that's 5, right? Oh, that's crazy. Does that say 18? Brother, look and see, this is what I was talking about. Look at that. So they got the all natural, 80% lean to the right, 80% lean, 20% fat, ground beef, value fresh pack, right? So that is approximately 3.5 pounds. Originally, they said that was $18.52. Brother, that's crazy. That is diabolical. What is that? And it was like, all right, we're going to discount this. We're going to, because, you know, the holiday, people are going to be chefing it up. We got these deals. So we're going to be pushing this out for $12.22. The reason why you see a discount directly on this is because China is not really buying this how it is. So they got to try to get their money some way so that all of this don't go directly to waste. Right. And as the lady stated, China don't really actually buy a lot. I think what they say about like 18% or something like that, right? They just sitting up there pulling that directly from America. But the 18 cent for America, that's, you know, hundreds, probably like billions or hundreds of billions of dollars or something like that, right? But now that's money that America's not getting, and I'm pretty sure that nobody else around the world is going to start buying and afford to buy American beef. Like I said, that is a deep discount. You went from $18 down to $12. That's actually a deal. But again, that's a scary sight though. So that's what I was saying earlier during the video. I'm like, I know it's higher than that because, you know, just going shopping and whatnot, you will be able to spot, you know, a lot of these prices looking crazy directly out here. But like I said, this is American. This is is how it be. Yeah, okay. You said Sam. So Sham's like 10%. Yeah. You also said $1.7 billion beef industry gone in China. Milk too. Got Wisconsin crying. I believe it. You said if it's steak, it's about $11 to $17 a pound, and ground is about $5 to $7. Yeah, it's looking crazy out here. Yeah, you said stress really affects the flavors of meat. It does. 100%. B said, yo, we shopping for beef. No, I was just giving the beef prices, dealing with the video that was taking place, dealing with China and the tariffs and stuff like that. And Asian woman was telling people the prices of beef in China because they got rid of America. So her prices over there are cheaper than what they normally would be if they were still importing it in from the United States. Sham said, oh, they hurt. So much of those farmers are turning on Trump. Yeah, I've seen them. I've seen them directly online. But Trump sat up there and told him, he was like, yo, you're going to have to deal with a little bit of hurt, a little bit of discomfort, but it's for the best. Hey, it be like that. Just like I said, hey, people voted for it. So you take the bad because everybody said that Trump is a good president, no problem. So you got to deal with the bad right now in order to get the good later on. I'm not sure what time frame or measurement that the good is going to happen or how long that good is going to prevail if and when it does happen, but you got to wait for it. He specifically told people this ahead of time. He was like, hey, you're going to go through a lot of pain. It's going to be a lot of hurt. It's going to be a lot of discomfort. It's going to be a lot of uneasiness. I guess people don't listen to the media the same way that they normally say that they like to listen, right? I guess what I'm saying is fake news, right? It's crazy work. Diabolical. Let me see. D Money said yesterday's price is not today's price. Shout out to Fat Joe, even though I disagree with him. Yeah. Yep. Yesterday's price is not today's price. Sam said the type of cow matters too. Oxen have better beef because they have more fat deposits. So yeah, American cattle not as tasty, especially the older it gets. Full Circle said our beef comes from China. Doesn't come from no. She was basically we were basically importing. Well, China was importing beef from the United States. Right. So they were getting a little bit of beef directly from us there. But because, we're having this disagreement with China for this little moment of time, China was like, all right, we're not going to make this deal to, do this whole thing with beef and all this other type of stuff. We're going to go with somebody else that we don't have a problem with. Right. And, that's what they decided to do. It'd be like that. It'd be like that. So now we're going to go over a story of something that I've talked about many times before directly on this platform, and I've highlighted this a multitude of times, and I try to specifically tell people that, maybe if people would actually talk to Black Americans and actually listen to them, that things would be a little bit better. So let's get directly into it.
Like they are hunting us down like animals.
Correction. They are conducting investigations to procure undocumented migrants in this country. Nobody's getting hunted down, okay? People who don't have their papers are being detained. It's very simple. Next.
And are you all okay with this?
Y'all okay with this? I'm okay with this. I'm okay with this. Yes. There are over 10 million undocumented migrants in this country. It's estimated that we have the highest number of undocumented migrants in the world. Y'all got to go.
Just because we look this way?
Because you don't have papers. Hispanic and Latino community makes up the largest population of undocumented migrants in this country. So it makes sense that the focus would be on the largest demographic.
Just because of our names?
No, it's because of these. And now a word from our sponsors.
Good afternoon. I just wanted to remind everybody that we standing on paperwork. We delineating.
That's crazy.
Like, what?
What? Okay. Yeah.
I'm so angry. Like, there is so much rage.
Do you have this same rage for the injustices happening in your homelands?
Oh.
I mean, do you have the same rage for what's happening to Black people in America?
Oh, shots fired.
Huh? If you have no concern for either of the two, but you're mad about deportations, I would say that your priorities are a little misconstrued. Don't you think?
Watching those videos of raids in construction sites?
They go home. Detained and sent back is not being hunted down. It's really not.
Like on the street?
And at these elementaries.
And by Proud Boys?
By U.S. Immigration and Customs.
By white supremacists?
Department of Homeland Security.
Jesus. Shots fired through the whole video. Jesus. That woman did not miss. She don't miss. She don't miss. crazy work. Lord have mercy. She tried to pull up every single name and title in the book, and the woman was like, "No, this is the government. This is Homeland Security. This is this. This is that. It is what it is." Like I said, she got a point. If you're not worried about the injustices, back in your homeland, and you're not worried about the things happening to Black Americans, your priorities are jacked. Like I said, you should be worried about your own people, your own family back home, which you're not. And you also should be worried about the quote unquote or care about what happens to Black Americans here, because whatever happens to us is going to happen to you. But like I said, nobody believes that they're going to have a turn on the wheel. Everybody thinks that the wheel is just all black, and those are the people that's only going to be affected by everything out here. Like I said, hey, y'all gonna figure it out. Y'all gonna find out. Y'all gonna find out. And I don't got no problem with people finding out. It be like that. That's crazy. Diabolical work, though. It be like that. So now I'm gonna preference. Do I want to read the information ahead of time? No, I'll read it after. Right. So now we're going to go over the whole issue with Job Corps. I'm pretty sure, because this is hitting a lot of Black communities harder than anybody else. Other communities don't care about this because this doesn't really affect them like that. So Job Corps is pretty much shutting down, and you're going to hear from some of the students on how this is going to affect them, along with some of their family members. So let's take a listen.
Go to the wreck at about 1:30, and they broke the news to us, and they had us go to the dorms, pack our stuff.
The staff on site would not say a word to us, but sources tell us it was shut down after recent cuts at the Department of Labor, which oversees the program.
That's
I didn't want him to be a statistic, so I wanted him to be focused and get his education.
16-year-old Carlton Davis lived here, and his mom recently lost their house, and there's more.
I have breast cancer surgery next week,
Man.
so now I'm debating having my surgery
I feel for that
canceled,
mom.
so I can make sure my son is okay.
I'm livid. I am livid. I cannot believe this.
Community activist Pastor Mo trying to help out here after getting calls from frantic mothers.
Man,
he's worried about the
crazy.
short and long-term solutions for these kids.
The ones who are trying to get it right. That's why I'm so pissed off. These are not kids are in a youth home who got caught in a crime. These are kids who trying to avoid getting caught in a crime.
Like I said, I just want to highlight that, man. Shout out to this pastor for just being out there and trying to help. You would think, let me just put it to you like this, because I talk about the churches a lot, and I've stated to people that just because you got one or two doesn't mean that the rest are going to follow suit and do the same thing, because they don't. A lot of churches are selfish. This brother right here decided that he saw a problem, and as a Black man in the community, he's like, yo, let me try to get out here and do something. As the mother stated, she's in a sense devastated because she doesn't know what she's going to do, because she already lost her home and she has cancer. She has to get treatment. And now she can't really fixate on that because her son, who was, in Job Corps and who was living there, because, I guess she might be, living from place to place or whatnot, or whatever, however her situation is. Now she has to figure out on if she's going to still do the cancer treatment, or if she's just going to focus on her son. Like I said, situations like this are going to heavily affect the Black community more than anybody else. Heavily. And you have a lot of kids that are there at Job Corps trying to do the right thing. And Job Corps is, in a sense, allowing them to not be on the streets. So now just think about it like this, right? A lot of these kids that potentially would have potentially turned to the streets. Job Corps was presented, and they're like, okay, I could sit up there and do this, still get my education. The race is not lost yet. I can still run. Now it's like, what am I going to do now? It's like, how am I going to support myself? How am I going to sit up there and support, my family? Now a lot of these kids going back home, they're going to feel like a burden. I can only imagine how her son feels, knowing the fact that he has to now come back and that his mom, in a sense, has to take care of him, when he was, doing for himself, in a sense, trying to, fix everything and, and get things going. Now it's going to be on his mind that, yo, my mom, she really needs this treatment, and she's not going to be able to do it because, I'm here. Right. Like I said, it's crazy work. And like I told people before, just like how everybody does not care when things like this happens in the black community, this is why I say that I don't care when it starts happening to other people's communities. And I'm just going to be honest. Like I said, I'm not like everybody else. I'm going to be 100% honest. I don't. Because people can sit idly by and hear these things going on and taking place and not care, not want to step up, not want to do nothing. But then once it starts hitting their communities, now people want to make a huge fuss or ruckus. Now people want to highlight it. Now people want to say that it's an epidemic. I don't care. If you didn't care when it first happened, I'm not going to care when it happens to communities 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. I'm not going to care. I'm not going to have the energy. I'm not going to sit up there and have the time. It's crazy. Diabolical. Yeah, I'm not even sure what that dude is even saying right now. Let me see. They're not shutting down the ones in the white areas. They're hiding it as the ones run by the Department of Agriculture. I believe it. I believe it. We got a part 2 to this video too, so let's get directly into it.
Shutting everything down because I ain't got my education. I ain't got my license. I came back here to get my life together, and it's just confusing me how they shut it down.
I needed my high school diploma, all type of stuff. So, but I was working towards that so I can do my CDL because that was my number one goal.
A lot of people in here don't got nowhere to go. A lot of people in here trying to change their life around, trying to get a house, trying to get a trade, trying to go to the union, trying to build money up so they can have a better life. Because some people come from
hurting more than you helping. The money is not the issue right now.
At Genesee Job Corps Center, 147 students were focused on building careers. Now, they're just trying to figure out what's next.
Let me tell you something. Let me. Where was it? This brother right here. When I was sitting up there looking at him talking, he has like a calm type of hurt, and I understand that. When you are, and this is what I try to say when it deals with America, the relationship between America and Black Americans. This primarily and really only happens to Black Americans. You literally got these young men out here, Black young men. They be like, "Yo, I understand my failures. I understand what I didn't do in the beginning, but I'm really working right now on trying to get my life right." You heard the one guy. Let me see if I can find him. The young guy directly to the left. He was like, "Yo, I'm going back trying to get my diploma and things like that because I want to get my CDL." Like the dude, he has a mindset. It's like, "Yo, I want to drive trucks." It's like, "Yo, I know what I want to do. This is what I'm fixated on. This is what I'm building towards." And all of that got stripped. It was done purposefully. This is why I told people before that in order to have a problem or to exacerbate that problem, they have to cause an issue. This is that issue. Just like how they took trade schools directly. Again, the main community that was horribly affected when this happened, the Black community. When they took trade schools out of the Black community, they did it on purpose because they knew that if Black men and young Black men were able to get these trades, that they were going to excel, that they were going to keep these jobs and be able to raise generations on that. And then they would also be able to teach that exact same trade to their sons, to their cousins, to their brother. Like I said, it's a whole long list. It's a domino effect when it is that you have one Black man that's educated in the family and how it is that he understands certain things and how the trajectories for these young guys out here, and he don't want them to go down that road. Anything that he can do to help them avoid any and all of the things that he went through, he's going to do that. The United States government doesn't want Black men to do that. And the one main thing I've talked about before is that you've had a lot of people in the Black community talk about the lack of Black leaders, right? You've had a lot of Black women specifically talk about, oh, we're the Black men to lead and all this other type of stuff. So this is number one to showcase how you destroy the ability for men in a community to do certain things. A trade school ain't hurt nobody. Right? Trade school ain't hurt nobody, but they decided to take that out. Just like they took out the trades in high schools as well. But they also they started trying to take out music. But the only thing they made sure to leave was sports. But a lot of people don't pay attention. They don't want to teach you really about finances. They don't want to really give you an education that will make you a capable, sufficient adult human being, right? But they'll make sure to sit up there and leave sports in there. They'll give you basketball or they'll give you football because that's all they want to see black men excel at. They don't want black men to excel at anything else. If it ain't sports, they don't care for it. Again, this is why they took out trades. They took it out of the high schools. They took it out of the communities in general. They even go to a greater extent. This is why they took factories out of black areas and black communities. Because you got black men that excelled directly out of high school. Some dudes got so good that they were like, yo, I'm working in a factory since I was 16. I never got my high school education because I didn't need it. Once I became proficient in this job, I didn't need nothing else. And the young dude, the older guy ended up raising families, generations directly off of that one job. And then with that job, he can also teach his sons how to also survive. Like I said, it's a whole domino effect, but nobody wants to sit up there and see really what it is. Nobody wants to pay attention to the cause and effect when it deals with any of these situations. It's crazy. Let me see. There was other things I set up there and mentioned and talked about going directly in the same exact line as well too. But when I look at a lot of these young black men, I see hope. Like I said, a lot of other groups, they don't know how to spot that. They don't know what that is, especially when looking at young black guys out here and black boys. They don't know what that is, because all they basically deem black men and young black boys to be is nothing but criminals, nothing but villains, right? The worst of the worst. But when I listen to them talk and I hear them express what it is that they're saying, I know that they're distraught. I know the world is turned directly upside down. I know they have all types of turmoil and emotions going on right now, but they conveyed themselves very great and respectfully during this interview. And even still, with them trying to convey that, you will still have people trying to demonize them, trying to insert some type of negativity somewhere, which is 100% crazy to me. But as I stated before, a lot of people don't want to see black men prevail. They don't want to see them actually be successful, actually make it. Because guess what? If black men have the ability, are just allowed to just do what it is that they normally do and just excel and succeed, now what do people got to talk about? Now what the conversation is going to be? People not going to be able to talk about those stats. Oh, per capita, the crime stats, the murder stats, this and that, and stop the crime you're not going to be able to do that no more. So now, if the crime and everything is going down because black men are successful, jobs are just out there and they can reach out and grab and get one or two and just have that and survive and thrive. Oh, guess what? Everything drops. You're not worried about no type of crime rates. You're not worried about no type of theft. You're not worried about dudes on the corner sitting up there selling this or that and all this stuff. You're not worried about none of that because everybody is able to thrive and survive. In order for a community to fall or fail, there has to be issues and problems. And it's specifically going to stem from jobs. It's going to stem from money. It's going to stem from the economics. And who has control of the money and the economics in this country? The United States government. Those are the exact same individuals stripping these young black men of the ability to go out there and get their lives straight on the right path. So now what's going to happen, right? So let's just say, and this is not me hoping, right? You got 100 and some odd ones that they basically stated were, displaced when it dealt with the whole job closure, job corps, closure. Let's say that some of these young men were teetering. But because they had Job Corps, something to look forward to every single day, and they had like a thing, they had a light at the end of the tunnel. They was like, yo, I'm not going to sit up there and go towards the streets. I'm not going to go towards trying to rip and run and tear up my community just to be able to eat. Now they're going to really dive deep into what it is that, you know, that was potentially there. Because now there is no silver lining. There is no light at the end of the tunnel. All they see now is darkness. All they see now is like, I gotta sit up there and survive. It's me versus the world. Don't nobody care about me. This is all I basically got. Like I said, this is how these situations occur. This is how these things happen. And now when you have these people out here that did have hope, but now they lost it. Now they got to go directly down a dark path. And now what inevitably ends up happening, right? They either lose their life, they're either in and out of the jail or prison system to forever pretty much go directly through that, or they end up in somebody's morgue. All three of which the United States government and many others are able to profit directly off of. The justice system profits off of the bodies of black men. The police profit directly off of the bodies of black men. The hospitals profit off of the bodies of black men. The morgues profit off of the bodies of black men. The churches profit off of the bodies of black men. 5 areas right there that profit off of the bodies of black men, either dead or alive. And people think that I'm crazy. People think that if you point these things out, then you're just trying to make yourself into a victim. No, I'm looking at the reality of the situation. Because as a black man, I understand what it is that these young dudes are basically going through. I understand how all of this works. Like I told you before, I had a multitude of options to go through different routes. I could have been out here sitting up there ripping around through the streets selling drugs. But luckily, my mom and my family and everything like that cared. And because of the type of love and everything that I was able to get there, I didn't. I also had some teachers that loved and cared. Because of them, I didn't decide to do that. Also got friends, love and cared. Because of them, I didn't decide to do and rip around through the streets. And also because I love myself. I opted not to go through and rip and run and go through my community. Like I said, I have a lot of fail safes directly there. A lot of these young men don't have those type of fail safes. They may not really have a family that genuinely actually cares about them. A lot of these young black men come from a reality of which that literally their whole world hates them, wishes that they did not exist. You got mothers that don't really care for their sons directly out here. You got fathers that don't really care for their sons out here. You got black families that don't really care for their sons out here. So a lot of these young dudes don't really have nobody to turn to. So the only love that they can actually get, the only respect, the only validation and value that they can happen to get is from the streets. It's from other guys that are basically in the same situation. So in order to keep getting that love and to keep getting that respect, they're going to keep doing what it is that they got to sit up there and do in order to get that validation, because they got something that is missing that should have been given to them when they first came onto this plane of existence. Like I said, it's a multifaceted situation. That's why I said before, beyond any other community out here, things like this are going to really hit the black community the hardest. And it's going to have a very detrimental and a negative effect when it takes place. It's crazy work. Crazy work. Let me see. Cave said, same here. I became a truck driver. You are speaking facts. Sham said, yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know why people want to come in here trolling, and then you're going to sit up there and say something to one of the mods. Oh, that's not smart. That is not a high IQ move. Bro, why are you talking about church in here? I'm a little bit confused. I'm not even sure how we even got to that conversation. But yeah, but anyways, like I said before, This is a situation that is going to it's not going to end well. Like I said, I hope and wish the best. Actually, let me not say hope and wish. I want the best for these young men directly out here who are seeking to be the best version of themselves directly out here. Like I said, they got these young black dudes out here. They got the whole world literally against them. The world does not want them to make it because they need somebody to always lean on to show that, oh, we're better than these people. Look at our community versus their community. Look at what the blacks do versus what everybody else, right? It's that whole thing. Because the fact of the matter is, the moment in time that you got black Americans, at least, the greater majority, on a path to greatness, a lot of people are going to be mad because now they got to focus in on self. They got to focus in on self because you can't talk about nobody else. Literally, everybody always, whenever it is that they want to showcase that their community is better, they'll be like, oh, let's do a comparison in between the blacks. Let's see what the black communities are doing. Let's look at these black run cities and all this. That's what they want to do every time. Let it be a time where black Americans get everything directly on board, just like the days of Black Wall Street. Oh, that same anger that happened back then is going to come back full force and even worse. It's going to be worse. And like I said, during that time frame, they had the government backing them doing that. They had the military backing them doing that. They had other Caucasian Americans backing them and doing that, burning down the towns and the cities. Oh boy. Oh boy. It's going to be coming back with a vengeance. And the craziest part is thinking about this whole situation is the fact that you still got a lot of these individuals out here still trying to fixate and talk about a race war. And I'm like, that doesn't even make any sense. Again, the type of lingo that they use online is not lingo that black Americans even refer to, even talk about. That's not even everyday speak for us. That's not even once in every blue moon, because we're just focusing on surviving day to day. That's pretty much where we see it, because there is an ability to see the future, but when you are black in America, your future is not promised. And those are just facts. So you just focus. Every day is basically the future, and you're happy to be able to see that future. At least that's how I sit up there and look at it. I've looked at it like that ever since. Let me see. I want to say about like 12 or 14 when I basically started to realize how the world basically works and how things are in a sense seen. Let me see. What else did we got here? Sham said, LOL. They want a race war. They in a war with themselves right now. They better be watching each other because we not their problem. Yeah, but this is why I said before, going back to the whole thing with dealing with Europe, this is why they've always tried to fixate directly on black people, right? Black Americans, or this is why they want to fixate on Africans. Instead of them focusing in on Europe and those problems, those civil unrest, those battles and all the other type of stuff going on, they want to zoom in on the smallest group. Crazy. Like it don't even make sense, but this is what tends to happen. Let me see. Full Circle said the focus on race keeps the focus from being on the solution. Got a point. You said the system benefits these people, the matrix benefits the bad, and does nothing for the good. So now we got another video here, and this is talking about a little bit of history. Actually, thinking about it, I think I do have another video that I did do. Let me just wait. Let me not get rid of that one though. Let me just get rid of some of, just clear out a little bit of this, because this woman here is going to go over a little bit of history that a lot of people probably don't know and don't understand. And this is why I said before, shout out to Black Americans, because a lot of things would not be where it is today if we did not, in a sense, if we weren't vocal and didn't push for certain things. So let's get into it.
44 years ago, June 7th, 1979, President Jimmy Carter declared June Black Music Month on the South Lawn of the White House. And it was done at the encouragement of the Black Music Association, which was founded by Kenny Gamble.
Right.
It was Gamble's idea once he went to Nashville and saw what the Country Music Association was doing to galvanize their industry. He felt we needed to do the same thing here in Philadelphia, but with the Black Music Association. So he founded it. It was his idea. We were a couple at the time. And I'm an advocate for our culture and music. I was on the radio, on TV. It was an exciting day, the first day that June Black Music Month was declared by President Jimmy Carter. Years later, I got legislation.
Right.
From Congress, the House of Representatives. Congressman Shaka Fattah introduced the legislation. I had the support of the Republican Senator, Arlen Specter at the time. And they wrote letters to the White House. They supported my lobbying efforts to get the legislation so that every American president would, on June 1st, issue a proclamation saying June is Black Music Month.
That's dope. And that is some history that I knew nothing about at all. Like I said, shout out to all of those people that did that. Like I said, there would not be a type of, celebration of culture and music if it weren't for the people that were vocal and pushed the whole narrative. And even at this moment in time, even dealing with Juneteenth, you got everybody else. Like a lot of these other cultures literally got their own month. That's the whole type of thing. Let me see if I can let me see. Let me see. Cultural. All right, let's see. We got a large list here. Because actually it's quite a few. So let's see. They got okay. So more details. So this is just a short one because I went over this like some years ago, right? So they said February, of course, Black History Month. March, Women's History Month. April, Arab American Heritage Month, right? May, Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. June, LGBTQ, right? September and October, Hispanic Heritage. You know what? I didn't even realize that they got 2 months. Let me just highlight this. Let me just highlight this. I just gotta put this directly up here because the one talking point that a lot of people wanted to sit up there and say is that we don't need a Black History Month. And the main thing that I tried to list is that a lot of people are ignorant and don't even realize that other people literally have months. And I'm like, it's completely stupid how people don't want to mention or talk about the other months that other cultures in a sense have. Let me see, what do we got? We got Black History Month, right? We got Hispanic Heritage Month, right? We got American Indian Heritage Month. We got Women's History Month, Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage, Arab American Heritage Month, Jewish American Heritage Month. June is Gay and Lesbian Pride Month, Asian/Pacific American Heritage Month. We got Disability Employment Awareness Month, Caribbean Heritage Month, right? What month is that? Let me see if I can find out what month that is. So when is the Caribbean? So Caribbean American Heritage Month is Why did not tell me what month it is? Because at first they were given, or are some of these in the same month? Because I know some of these might be in the same month. I remember June used to just have, it was like Juneteenth and like some other stuff directly in there, and then automatically just became, a whole other month for other people. All right, well, it'd be like that. But Hispanic Latin Heritage Month is from September 15th to October 15th. I'm trying to actually get the dates up here. I don't know why they're not giving dates. Let me see. Maybe the United States Department will actually have it, because I'm trying to see when the Caribbean month is. So wait. So Caribbean Heritage Month is in June, if I'm looking at this correctly from the United States website. So they got that in June. Let me see. Because let me see. Yeah. Because if I remember correctly, some of these were all in like the same month, I think. Yeah, so Immigrant Heritage Month, I think that's June. Caribbean is in June. Gay Pride is in June. Military Appreciation for Veterans. I can't even give you a what's the name. Why do they not just have? Did somebody actually make a list? Thank you. Wait, what? What? Okay, so July is Disability Pride. Wait, Disability Pride Month. That just sounds weird. September is Latin. I don't like the terminology Latinx. Latino Hispanic Heritage Month. October. Wait, how old is this? This is in 2024. Is this for a college? Okay, it's Black History. All right, March is Women's History, right? April is Essay Awareness and Arab American Heritage Month. May is Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. Mental Health Awareness Month. Jewish American Heritage Month. June is LGBTQ plus Pride Month and Juneteenth. July is Disability Pride Month. September is Hispanic and Latinx Heritage Month. October is LGBTQ plus History Month. What? So you got 2 months? How does a lot of people got two? How does this work? National Disability Employment Awareness Month. And then you got also within that, you got Indigenous Peoples Day, and then 10/11 is National Coming Out. What is that? Like, I don't even I'm a little bit lost. I'm a little bit okay. I didn't even know that was a thing, but I guess that's the day to okay. November is Native American Heritage Month. Then you got 11/8 is National First Generation Day. I don't even know what that is. 11/20 is Transgender Day of Remembrance. December is International Day of Persons with Disability. So technically, the disability, they got like 3 months. If I'm adding this up, and then technically the LGBTQ plus have about 3 months technically, because in March they have International Transgender Day of Visibility. And then June is LGBTQ plus Pride Month. And then October, you got LGBTQ plus History Month, National Disabilities. So how is it? I'm just trying to wrap my mind around the fact that people were complaining just about Black history, but everybody literally has a day. Everybody has like a day in a month. But for whatever reason, the thing that really irked people's nerves is Black history. And I'm like, that's the shortest month out of the year. Like, what do we What are we doing? Like, how are people mad? Oh, I got it. The reason why people mad is because a lot of people are racist. Because nobody's mad at the Caribbeans. Nobody's mad at like the Irish or the Scottish or anything like that. Nobody's mad at the disabled. Nobody's mad at the Jewish month or day. Nobody's mad at the Arabs or anybody. Everybody's always fixated and angry at Black history. Like I said, you gotta sit up there and spot that, because a lot of these people is like, oh, but why doesn't everybody else has it? Everybody else does have a day. Everybody else literally has a day. Like, it's crazy. Joyce, hey Joyce, what is up? What is up? You said breast cancer awareness month is October. Yeah, they didn't list that. That's the crazy part. They didn't list that directly up there, which is crazy. D Money said, wait, so they got 2 months and a national come out day? Yes. I didn't even know it was a such thing as a come out day. I didn't know that was a thing. I'm not sure if that means that is when people directly decide to come out. Like, there is actually a specific day that like I said, this is new to me. I don't know how any of this works, but hey, it'll be like that. Let me see. Asian Heritage is in May, I think. Was that listed for May? I think. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it was May. Yeah. Yep. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Like I said, everybody else got a day. But it's only a problem when it deals with Black history, which is crazy. Crazy work. Yep, D Money was like, and yet everybody has a problem with us having the shortest day. That's facts. Sam said German folks festivals are a month. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You said you don't know why you sitting up there eating a cup of ice. I mean, I used to sit up there and do that playing Call of Duty. I used to do that sometimes. Sham said, again, the majority of disabled is the Caucasian individuals. So yeah, they got 3 months. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Like I said, it's crazy work out here. Diabolical. Let me see. I think if I go to videos real quick, and I gotta go back because I got one more video. Let me make sure this is the right one. Let me see. Okay. So this is another one I wanted to post directly up here. I feel like this is a pretty dope one. So let's just take a nice little listen to this.
Mexico recognizes that Afro-Indigenous people were on this continent hundreds of years before the Spaniards stepped 1 foot on the soil. It completely changes the narrative of what we've been taught. It completely changes the idea.
I see this video done cause some issues. I see a lot of people trying to say, oh, he lying, there was never no Black indigenous people throughout Mexico, or she never said that. Like, this is a new topic. This has been talked about for a minute. Let me show you real quick. See, there's this book written in 1880 that's called The North Americans of Antiquity by John T. Short, to show y'all that this ain't no new topic, all right? And it says on page 189, when it talks about them, it says that the remnants of some of which are now in the Indian Territory and others in the Northwest until we reach the dark-skinned cause of Kansas, who are nearly as black as the Negro. It says the Indians in Mexico are known as the black people, an appellation designed to be descriptive of their color. Violet Leduc is of the opinion that the builders of the great remains of southern Mexico and Yucatan belong to 2 different branches of human family, the light-skinned and the dark-skinned race respectively. The variety of complexion is as great as in South America as among the tribes of the northern portion of the continent. Man, and it makes sense. Think about it. Who do you think these people were?
Yeah.
To piggyback off of it, there's another book written by a man named Carlos Cuervo Marquez. It's a book written in Spanish, but when you translate it, the title of the book is Archaeological and Ethnographical Studies. And on page 272, second paragraph, when translated, it says, it is possible that when we repeat that in ancient times, the young America was also a black continent. And the autonomy of Mexico, the caracoles of Haiti, And it's a couple more of these that I cannot pronounce, and I don't want to mess them up. So go down, it says are the remains of the indigenous Negro race on which the so-called red or American race was later formed. So understand, this ain't no new topic. What that man is saying has been said and been preached for a minute now. People just now picking up on it. So understand, yes, Mexico has a deep history when it comes down to black indigenous people. So thank you and peace.
Oh,
That this ain't
like I said, and a lot of people, when black people start talking in America, and we say that indigenous this, original that, all this other type of stuff, people always like show the proof, all this other type of stuff. That brother literally just gave you the book, and I'm just going to keep that directly right up there. He gave you the book, if not two or three, and listed excerpts directly from that, and gave those directly to people. And it specifically said some things. But again, people they're going to buy. No, that doesn't mean that. It's not indicative of who wrote this. What was the time? How is it that they referred to? Like I said, people are going to skate around a whole bunch of stuff. People are going to say and skate around a whole bunch of stuff, but it be like that. It be like that. Mm, mm, mm. Like I said, it be like that. But yeah, pretty much. I want to say that is about it, at this moment in time. Directly for this live stream, what we do? We did about a good 3 hours at this moment. They're pretty good. Pretty solid, pretty solid. Much love, respect, and appreciation to any and all of those who pulled directly up to the scene. Shout out to you guys. Again, shout out to the trolls. Always sitting up here, doing what it is, that you sit up here and do every single day. Just showing up to the scene for no reason. Could have been anywhere else, but you opted to be right here with us. Crazy work. 100%. Much love, respect, and appreciation to all of my moderators as well. Thank y'all for the great, spectacular, awesome jobs. That you guys do every single day. Pulling up to the scene and everything, as D Money would say. Shout out to the regulars. Shout out to the regulars. Shout out to the subscribers. Shout out to the members of the channel. Much love, respect, and appreciation, and shout out to any and all of those who have donated, past, present, and also in the future as well. It is currently, I'm just trying to close down some of these windows. It's currently 8:40, June 2nd. Well, at least my time. So yeah, go out there and have a good day. Go out there and get your feng shui, directly in order. Spend time with your family, your friends, yourself. Probably catch up on a movie, anime, something like that. Go play a game and everything like that. And go get yourself right. Sham said, "Yay, video game chat." We just about video game chat. Sham said, "You disappeared for a long time." Let's play. D Money says, "Shout out to the trolls and miss them at the same time." Yeah, that's bars. That's bars. That's bars. Technically, I've been technically no life in Diablo. I'm not sure. Do you have Sham? Do you got Diablo 4? Let me just take that down real quick. You got Diablo 4? Technically, I'm talking to her by way of this live stream. I could easily just type her on Steam. I haven't even been on Steam in a minute. Say eat well, play well, stay safe. Yeah, I know the live stream is probably delayed. You said I can get it right now if that's what you're playing. I mean, I would say like check it out first before you happen to like buy it. I mean, it's a good game. I like the season that we're in at this moment in time. I'm working on my druid. At this moment, that's what I'm currently doing. I mean, technically, I'm slightly tempted. I could actually do a live stream. I would need food though. That would be the problem because normally, if I stream, I would have food. Sam said I got Diablo 3, so I know I like Diablo 4. Okay, yeah. All right, yeah. So I would, yeah. If you can happen to catch a deal, I say, yeah. You probably you can get it. I think unlike Towerborn, I want to say that we have crossplay. I have to. My computer might rev up just a slight bit. I gotta close out some stuff in the background. Um, I'm trying to go directly to my Xbox real quick. Do. I forgot. I gotta make this a little bit smaller again. That's why I like having the window. There we go. The games and apps. Let me see. Am I able? Oh, because I'm not streaming it directly from what's the name? How am I streaming this again? Oh yeah, I would have to do the virtual cam, right? Virtual and then wow, I don't know why I showed up like that. That's crazy. Yeah, I don't know why it's showing up blurred like that, which is weird. That looks crazy. Let me see something real quick. Let me see if I can deactivate, activate. Nah, it just yeah, for whatever reason, it's just showing up blurred. I do not know why. Yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, I'm not sure if you got that. Yeah, that looks wild. I'm not sure if you have the what's name Sham. It's about a good 119 gigs. It might be a little bit more directly on yours. For whatever reason, the rest of my games are blurred. It's like I'm on the hub right now. This is crazy. You would have thought I was on Steam by the way that these games are blurred. You would have really thought that this was Steam. That's some crazy work. You said does it have crossplay? Let me see. Manage add-ons. Yeah, that's I don't know why the blur effect is there. Let me see. Yeah, I don't know what is happening here. Yeah, this is crazy. It's literally a Gaussian blur. That's on this. Let me see, because we do have it on PC. Single player, Xbox online co-op, shared screenplay, local co-op, online multiplayer. They got more down there. Yeah, they got Xbox cross-platform multiplayer and Xbox cross-platform co-op. So yeah, it does have cross-platform capabilities because I would have to add you on, I think, by Blizzard name because you're on PC. So we would have to do it that way. So if you got a Blizzard account, you can just write it to me on Steam, and then I can just, add you or whatever. Oh, you said your main drive is a 2 terabyte. You said, "Oh, I got a 5 terabyte." So I'm good. Yeah, you just see you see you got all the stuff over there. Hack said, "Peace. I'm out." All right, Hack. Much love, respect, and appreciation. Much love, respect, and appreciation. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I might do what's name? I might do a game stream. Maybe I might do that around I don't know. Maybe I might do it now or maybe around 12 or something. I don't know. Because I know my what's the name is going to rev up because I'm going to have to do it through OBS. So my capture card is going to be running, and then I know my Xbox is going to be running too. So that's going to be those two things happening at the same time. Sham said, "LOL, don't be hacking though. I just got good hardware." Nah, you be hacking. Sham said, "Okay, let me see if I can recover my account." All right, yeah, I'll just Sham said, okay, cool. We going on mic then. I mean I guess I don't know. I don't think the sound will actually like feed through. I'll figure it out though. But yeah, anyways, I'll let y'all go. Y'all might happen to see me later on tonight doing a game stream. If so, I'll probably, be on Diablo, doing that and and everything of the sort and whatnot. So we'll figure that out. But all right, peace out to everybody in the live stream. Shout out for y'all staying here for so long and listening to me. And I catch you on the next live stream and or video. Peace out.